monkey turds? What the fuck was that? Was that you, stupid blarg? Stupid fucking brown guy.
It's like when you scare a fucking African.
What?
What?
It's the sound they make,
What?
huh?
I would say
I
it
figured
sounds
they would
like
just
an
like
African
scream
yelling,
like
why
everyone
me?
else.
Yeah, they don't go, ah. It's,
They go, Hunman!
Okay.
clicks in fear.
Scared clicking.
That's what the subtitles say in the video.
Yeah, for the deaf Africans.
Scared clicking. I would pay a lot of money to see you just leap off of a cliff.
I'll double it.
I'll triple it.
I'll nay off a cliff. You
I
pay
didn't
me.
realize this was like a negotiation.
In an auction.
What happens when I
Let's
play
all
glass?
go to Iraq. Let's go all go to Iraq.
We're just gonna watch goon videos.
Yeah.
Let's all go to Iraq.
And then get bombed and die.
Okay.
Yay!
Woo! Who can relate?
Middle Eastern.
I don't want to laugh.
CEO of Iran is flaunting his stuff right now.
You mean like,
how many goats did you sell for those birds?
My friend, how much dirt did you scoop up out of the ground?
Oh
to pay
my
for that?
god.
Oh, here they come. Here they come.
Jesus.
You just
Good dubstep
napalm.
song.
You got fucking napalmed.
my God. All right, I'm going out this way. This guy's gonna die.
Yeah, you want to bombard him? You want to bombard him? You
Yeah,
want to
big boy
bombard him?
place, big boy place.
All right,
Okay, I'm gonna watch Dude
go,
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 get
go.
him. Go get him, Dude.
Go get him.
Okay,
Oh, you don't have a
Dude's
nexus on
doing it?
He's not.
Ooh,
there
he
you go.
actually did it
Dude
for
did
once.
it.
Wow.
I was just watching him ready for him to die.
Could you guys ever like legitimately
Believe
gas
in
me
you?
up for once?
No,
Yeah,
hell
like
no.
can you just be like, yo, you did that thing where you clutch all the time.
Yo!
Yo.
The only guy you could kill is in
That
some
was so
gay
cool.
little pink suit.
It's like when a retarded
Not
kid
looking
actually
right.
colors inside the lines.
Jeez, so fucked.
Gassing up a retarded.
No, you know what?
I mean, he's not wrong.
It's okay. He's right.
Oh.
It's okay.
Look, he got
accept
that math equation right. Holy shit.
He did addition. Oh my god.
He didn't bite his hand when he ate the sandwich. That's crazy.
Okay. Okay.
Back out.
This is a warning to all living mortals. That who shall ever open this chest of demons will release 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the face of the earth. Okay, cut it. This isn't going to work. Let's try some nostalgia bait.
It's finally strange. You looking happily deranged. I can't tell if you're bed. Or have you picked your dog yet? Listen, got your dog bite.
If you have seen Cindy's dog, please let your local authorities know.
If you have also seen Cindy, please report to your local authorities.
Got your dog bite. It's Cindy. It's Cindy. Got your dog bite. It's Cindy.
Okay, that was better. But let's try something a bit more cinematic.
You about to witness hip-hop in its most purest, most rawest form, flow, or most flawless, most hardest, most zone. Hip hop is in a state of 911 zone. Let's get down to business. I don't got no time to play around. What is this? Must be a circus in town. Let's shut the shit down on these clowns. Can I get a witness? Hell yeah. Let's get down to business. I don't got no time to play around. What is this? Must be a circus in town. Let's shut the shit down on these clowns. Can I get a witness?
Yeah, that's the shit I like. Let's start the Barroom podcast. Take it away, Jacob.
Y'all all infidels. I guess Streamer finally fixed this shit because it's been that intro's been lagging on me for like the last 2 months every time I play it. Now it's finally like in sync where I can like listen to the whole thing and not have to wait 3 seconds before I talk because who knows if anyone can even hear me. So thanks StreamYard. It only took you 2 months and $40 to finally fix your site. So it's a way to go. You're doing great. We're here for episode 160 of the Ballroom Podcast, and it's going to be a spicy night. It's going to be a very spicy night because Rick's not here, and we're going to celebrate the fact that Rick is not here, and this show should go significantly faster than it has on average when he is here. But until then, we're going to introduce everyone who's here on the show so far. Cider, how you doing?
Yes.
Now, why exactly are you dodging the LA Dodgers?
No, I found out that that's a slur against white people, and it amuses me to no end that somehow this is a derogatory term for white people, and I, myself, am a self-admitted sun dodger. If you can't tell, the camera can't quite adjust to my whiteness. I overexpose the camera constantly, so...
Why do racial slurs against white people just don't stick?
They sound like rock band names. Like Sun Dodger's like a 1990s alt band, like alt rock band that performs at weddings. I love it. I love it. Because they don't. I guess because we're just like, yeah, sure, that fits. You could call me that.
Because
we just don't protest it.
Collective sense of shame. That's why.
I guess.
You don't carry that weight around where it's like you just hate yourself all the time. So generally, I mean, there's some self-hating.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's probably a good 50% there that feel shame.
Italians.
I know they have no shame whatsoever.
My father had a joke. He says, "Why are all the Italians named Tony?" And he says, "Because when they get here, it says on the side of the box 2NY."
I'm refusing to laugh at that joke.
That's a McNasty joke right there.
Rob, how's it going?
I hate puns, and I don't know if that was a pun, but it was just as bad as a pun.
Yes, it's a dad joke. It's a racist dad joke.
Yeah, that's good because I've never appreciated that kind of humor. So, but maybe when I get older, maybe when I'm almost dead, maybe it'll start to be funny for me.
Yeah, you'll be on your deathbed.
So what you're saying is that you're not an Andrew Dice Clay fan.
It's funny that you say that. I actually love Andrew Dice Clay, but it's much more about like the shock humor and just how ridiculous and not out of left field because that's his milieu, but it's very much just like for the the joy of shocking the audience and saying naughty words. So, but I'm 12 years old, so
he sold out Madison Square Garden a few times. That happened.
And I mean, speaking of my 12-year-old sense of humor, I saw the Naked Gun movie last Friday, right before my car accident, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I laughed quite a bit. It's dumb, like it's dumb, stupid humor, but it's dumb, stupid humor we haven't seen in a while, and it was just good. It was a good time, and it wasn't anything special, but when I heard that they were rebooting the Naked Gun, I was like, oh god. So good job for what it was. Good job.
I saw it last week as well. It's a harmless, dumb movie. That's really what it is. Like it knows exactly like what it tells you right away. It's ridiculous right off the big gate, so you don't have to like take it seriously. It's like it tells you first minute in, it's a completely ridiculous movie, and it just goes on with it, and it commits to the bit, and it's like, you know what, fine. It's dated in a lot of aspects. Like I said, we haven't had that sense of humor since probably like the 90s, if we're being honest with ourselves, but it still works if you're just looking for something. You know what? It doesn't even think it's like 90 minutes long. I think it's actually less than 90 minutes.
85 minutes. Yeah. I really enjoy, just real quick, like the first 5 or 10 minutes, the actual plot device is called
plot device.
device. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. And then also,
sounds about right.
joining us here somewhere in the shallows of California. I think Eddie's here. Is Eddie here with us?
I like calling white people mayonnaise muffers.
Ooh, that's fun.
Even it's like, it's funny, but it just hadn't like the sting. Like there's something like
there's too many syllables. Mayonnaise.
I mean, it's not like Porch Monkey or like Vine Swinger or something like that. Like it doesn't have like the same kick that the other racial slurs do.
Vine Swinger does have more of a poetic sound to it.
But even like cracker isn't an effective. Like it just doesn't stick for whatever reason.
I heard not too long ago that apparently pepper belly is a racial slur against Mexicans, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how that even came about.
What does that have to do with anything?
No idea. So I don't know. Maybe that's one of those old time racial slurs.
I think it's like in the East, in the East Coast, they don't use the word. Like in the West, we use beaner, but in the East, they don't use beaner. They don't know what a beaner is. So
yeah,
we have a special word.
My mother calls black people cocoroco.
That sounds about right. But then again, even like beaner isn't all that offensive anymore because like most Mexicans laugh when you call them beaners these days. It's like
most Mexicans laugh about everything.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit.
Still care at all.
They're just happy you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Racist Podcast, where we discussed racism in all its different forms from different angles against all the races.
Look, you can't tell from the first 10 minutes of the show that we're actually going to be talking about serious topics tonight. That's for certain.
I just want to say real quick. I spent a few years in Eastern Washington. There's this town called Othello and a gas station called Bingers. And I made the mistake in a town that is literally 87% Mexican. I called it Beaners. And I was like 18 or 19. And you know what I mean? Like, you don't really know where you are. You don't know.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate that these Mexican gentlemen just laughed about it. But yeah, it was a moment of like, oh,
Most of the time they will.
It's like, I could have gotten jumped, but I didn't.
Here at the Institute of Racism, we know how to keep the colors separate but equal.
Yeah.
I feel like one of these barroom episodes should be the Institute of Racism. That's the title should be.
I tell you this much, 3/5 of this episode is going to be extremely racist, so that's all I got to know.
Yay!
Oh, let's go ahead and introduce our people here in the chat. You got me here. I'm here. So
I'm glad you're here.
In there. Yeah, Vanya's here with us as well. Sakura Mita's joining us here in the chat. You got Leslie Tarkin. We got Kirk joining us over on the Rumble side of things. Who else have we got here tonight? Neozoic joining us here for a good episode. Terminator Joe's here. We have JT Prime joining us on tonight's show. Biona Rad. Apparently, words don't bother white people too much, which I guess is probably a good thing. Pedro Pascal is not in The Naked Gun because I would have literally shouted obscenities at the movie theater if I saw his face.
Now, if we're talking racial slurs, call a Mexican man Pedro Pascal. They will just shank you right there.
Or as they say in Spanish, puto. That's what I call him.
Puto.
Or maricón. Or maricón, or este cabrón.
Parejo. Pendejo.
Oh, what else we got here? It says no such thing as hate speech. It's just words that some people don't like. Freddie joining us here tonight as well.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
he likes Fritos. Pie.
No, like the Frito Bandito. They got rid of him. That was sad. He was cool. They should bring the Frito Bandito back.
They get rid of all the Mexican superheroes. Him, Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah,
apparently that was it.
That's it. The two characters.
Fuck Zorro. Fuck that guy.
He's Spanish. He's not Mexican.
Oh,
yeah, right.
My bad. Yeah, he is. He's a Spanish lord. That's right. I forgot.
Cucaracha. So we're here on multi platforms, YouTube, X, and Rumble here tonight. We do have a packed show. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and make an announcement here tonight. Moving forward, starting tonight, I won't be doing any more content for Bounding for the foreseeable future, and here's why. The reason why I'm doing this here is because I don't want anyone to try to stir anything up. I'm not going to do this whole thing behind the scenes so that people could say he said, she said, and all this nonsense. I'm just going to let you know exactly what's been going on. over the last few months, as you guys know, my life has kind of been turned upside down for a while. So as you've realized, I used to appear on a lot of other people's shows over the course of the last few months that I haven't been on in a while. You notice I haven't been on Culture's stream in a little bit. I haven't been on Comics Division stream in a while. I haven't streamed with MSK. I haven't streamed with Iron Oxide. It's not because I have anything against those people, obviously. It's just that with everything that's been going on, I've had very, very limited time. And if I'm being completely honest with you, my time management has been absolutely horrific in the course of the last calendar year. If you guys check out Bounding into Comics with the articles that I've written, I think my last article that I actually wrote was all the way back in February. That's because when I started this about 3 years ago, I had essentially a job that allowed me more time to commit to full-time content creation, writing, editing, stuff like that. And then that changed very, very quickly. This is like right post-COVID. As a result of that, I just hadn't had enough time to spend time writing articles, editing articles, going with the whole back and forth. And I've been trying to find ways to contribute outside of doing that. I was doing the movie reviews, the 511, which I haven't done in a little bit as well. But essentially, time just started kicking my ass after a while. And essentially, what happened yesterday, I really did think about this yesterday pretty strongly as well. It's like, I've been in a position where I probably should have made a change several months ago and didn't, because I basically was trying to keep like the same schedule. But Cider, you remember this too. When we were doing 01 on Wednesdays, I would always show up like an hour late for the show. That wasn't because I didn't want to be on the show earlier. I literally did not get home until 15 minutes before I appeared on the show. That's how busy my days were. And then immediately after the show, I go right to sleep and start my whole day again. I'm one of the few people here who has like a full-time gig outside of this. Like I manage a very, very hot warehouse in Georgia during the summer every single day. So I take care of that. Then I have to handle family stuff in between there. And then God forbid I have any kind of importance. My teeth are completely like F. I got this tooth pulled, my back molar pulled about 2 months ago after a really bad infection. I got a root canal that needs to be done here as well. I just don't have the time to commit as much as I would like to, and it's making it very, very difficult for me to contribute the way that I would want to contribute as a result of that. So that's kind of the reason why I'm stepping down, not because, I don't want to. It's just simply the fact I can't do it at this point. And I will say this, over everything that's happened over the last several months, I'm very fortunate and very blessed that this is not a monetary decision for me, meaning that I'm not in a position where I have to do this for the money at this point. I can afford to take a step back and refocus on what I really want to do. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys here too, because I already know that I'm going to get some some comments or some requests over the next several hours about, hey, well, we're doing this over here. You want to contribute to the culture war? I'm going to be completely blunt, and maybe I'll upset a few people. I personally find the culture war to be very, very stupid. Let me explain. When you get into it, I've seen a lot of people who I've known, some people here in the stream, who have fully committed to the culture war and have lost a lot and have nothing really to show for it. And I've seen these people put everything into the political side of things, even, the entertainment side of things. And at the end of the day, nothing really has changed for the most part. And especially over the last few months, I feel like that we're all just kind of politically recycling right back to where we were in 2016, where we're having the same arguments about, Trump and Disney and all of this other stuff that we had 10 years ago, to me, showing me that nothing has really changed. We just kind of reset this whole thing. And as you guys know, I started the Bible Lens 2 years ago. I did episode 101 last Sunday night. To me, I would much rather put more focus into kind of the biblical content and kind of as it relates to current events, because the way that I kind of see the culture war, which is, I'm so glad we're talking about Brock Lesnar here tonight as well, because this is a perfect analogy. To me, the culture war is like the two Puerto Rican chicks fighting in the stands at SummerSlam while the actual main event is happening live in person, right? I think there's a much bigger play happening here right now, and I've talked about this in great detail. If you guys have a whole checklist for the Bible Lens, go check that out. I think that my time will be better spent focusing on that and speaking more truth to what's going on there. The bigger topics about, political stuff, as far as like, Russia and Iran and Syria, and you guys know I've talked about this privately a lot of times too. I feel like it would be more productive of my time to kind of focus on that. That way I can have a bit more time with my family. I can have a bit more time to pull back. And then if I have the opportunity, hey, I can do streams with you guys. I can hang out with you guys. Like I said, I'm not doing this because I don't want to. It's just that at this point in time, I have to pull back because my own time management over the last couple of years has been absolutely trash. So let me be very, very clear here. I'm not throwing shade at Cider. We don't have any problems with Cider. That's why he's here. I'm not throwing any shade at Nerdigans, even though she doesn't answer any of my texts. She doesn't follow me on Twitter. Doesn't really speak to me in my own chat. Besides all that, I'm not throwing any shade at Nerdigans. And no, I'm not throwing any shade at Spencer either. I'm not throwing any shade at anyone. I'm just telling people this is honestly my decision. I thought about it. This is not something that I made like overnight out of anger or anything like that. I've been thinking about this for a while. I think now is about time. And with everything going on, I think the next couple of months are going to be very, very important. So I think it is a good thing for me to refocus as far as that goes. So let me go ahead and say this now. This is my decision. I did not get booted out. I did not get kicked out or anything like that. I left on my own accord. There's no heat anywhere there whatsoever with anyone there. And by the way, for anyone who thinks that they're going to hit me up talking about, hey, you want to join our culture war? Save it. Save it. I don't want to hear it. Not doing it. The answer is no. Don't contact me, John. I don't want to hear it. I will not do any more culture war nonsense with like, look, I'll still make fun of wrestling fans because I think a lot of you guys are really stupid, and it's kind of like a little therapy session for me to talk about how dumb some of you guys are. Maybe I'll talk about, Disney and stuff like that because I have been talking about that for a while, I'll admit, right? But as far as like, all that stuff goes, I'm just going to confine that right now to the bar room and focus on more either biblical stuff or entertainment stuff moving forward. And then it is what it is. So I hope that would make pretty clear for everyone. Kenny will get to this here in just a second. I just want to make that very, very clear here before we get started. So before anyone asks us any questions like, oh no, what happened? I'm telling you exactly what happened. There's no question about what happened. So that it is, and it is. And I think we can go ahead and start the show now. I mean, after, my 5-minute diatribe and all the racist jokes, I think it's a great time to talk about the return of Bork Lesnar. Bork Lesnar is back, as you guys know him as Brock Lesnar. He returned last Sunday night at SummerSlam Night 2, because apparently it's 2 nights now. But this is what's very, very interesting about the whole Bork Lesnar return. Wrestling fans are absolutely furious that Bork Lesnar is back. Now, of course, I have to let you guys know this right off the jump. WWE will not allow you to play any of their footage whatsoever, even if it's for 5 seconds. They will nuke your stream without hesitation. That's how WWE is. So this is the best video I can show you of Brock Lesnar's return that happened last Sunday night at SummerSlam Night 2 after the John Cena Cody Rhodes matchup. So here you go. This is the return of Borkenstein.
The Village people have a brand new member.
That's Cowboy Brock Lesnar, just in case you were wondering.
Why is he dressed like Toby Keith? Did I miss something?
F5.
That was it.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
That was it. So, Brock Lesnar is back. In case you guys were wondering, so here's what happened. Here's why Bork Lesnar has been gone for a while. His last match was SummerSlam 2 years ago in Detroit against Cody Rhodes. That was his last match. He wasn't gone, like he wasn't like banned or anything. He basically takes time off, here and there, because essentially Brock Lesnar has a flip phone. He lives in Canada and he shoots mooses from helicopters. Like that's his life. Like that's Brock Lesnar, the man. And then here's what happened. 2 years ago, Vince McMahon got caught up with this Janelle Grant chick who he was having a consensual affair with. I guess you can call it an affair. I mean, him and his wife haven't actually been together in like 30 years. That's besides the point. And essentially what happened is that she was getting paid NDA money to keep quiet about their little, rendezvous. And then when the money stopped, that's when she started to sue Vince McMahon and WWE. And a few people got implicated at the course of this. Brock Lesnar was indirectly involved in this whole lawsuit because what was said here is that this is her words, that, Vince McMahon forced me to send a P-tape to a former UFC fighter in order to get them to potentially re-sign with the company. So this is the alleged back and forth between Brock Lesnar and this woman, is that she sent a P-tape to Brock Lesnar on the request of Vince McMahon. Brock Lesnar then responded by calling her a gross bitch, and then never responded to her ever again. These two never met. and Eddie's laughing because this is like Carney shit 101, but this is exactly what happened.
He said, "You."
Exactly. These two never met. There was never any plans for them to meet each other whatsoever. Brock Lesnar's sin, allegedly, was that he received a P-tape from a woman who he never met and never spoke to after the fact, and that was it. Lesnar was never, ever alleged to do anything wrong. He was never alleged to be a part of this. He was never a defendant in this whatsoever. He was just indirectly named and involved in a lawsuit revolving Vince McMahon. Brock was then supposed to come back at the Royal Rumble last year, 2024. He was supposed to come back. When Janelle heard that Brock was coming back, she then amended her lawsuit to essentially name Brock Lesnar in order to prevent him from coming back to the company. So WWE essentially stopped Lesnar from showing up. He was not at WrestleMania 40 last year. He was not at this year's WrestleMania. He's been on ice ever since. According to WWE's legal team, he has been cleared for over a month now, so they investigated the whole thing thoroughly and figured that he did nothing wrong whatsoever. He was never alleged to have done anything wrong. He was never alleged to have committed any crimes whatsoever. He was just indirectly named in a lawsuit that had to be involving Vince McMahon, and then that was it. So then Brock comes back. The internet fan base, where I'm going to show you a multitude of videos revolving these people, which I'm going to use in quotation marks.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly people. I've been going around melting down because for the last basically year and a half, they've wanted Brock gone. They thought Brock was canceled. They wanted Brock gone. They didn't want him to return anymore. They don't want him to be back, all this old nonsense. But he's back now. So here's how these people reacted to Brock Lesnar's return. I want you to notice if there's a common theme with these people in these videos that you see here, because I've been talking about the current wrestling fan base for a while, and now you're going to start seeing it.
I knew y'all were going to fuck up SummerSlam. However, I did not expect it to be this bad. Triple H.
Does anyone think this guy's gay? Does anyone?
No.
What's the...
I know.
Right?
You ain't seen nothing yet. Brock Lesnar, though. Like, bullshit aside, allegations
He
aside,
just
who
bought
the fuck
that
asked for a
bandana to
single
look
Lesnar
cool.
match in 2025?
The creases are still in it.
Why does he have like a cute little ribbon on the side? Is it like a Sailor Scout or something?
Is that a do-rag with a ribbon?
Y'all kept trying to bring
Yeah, it's a do-rag and then there's a ribbon on top of it. See that
Wow.
line across the top? The
And we
do-rag
just
doesn't
seen
have
fucking
that.
Triple H working
It's
with
going down
somebody
his back,
literally
see?
last week.
It's
Now
his
y'all
head
trying
is
to bring
added
the
the
name
ribbon.
as an ongoing lawsuit.
His head is
and
somebody's
bitch
birthday
man
present.
He's trying to look like the black woman that he thinks that he is in his mind. That's what it is.
Aunt Jemima
There-
cosplay.
There's more. Here's this person.
I know TKO has you by the balls right now, but can you please take that booger picking eater out of the ring now?
What?
Okay.
What does that have to do?
We need to have a serious talk about Brock Lesnar's return. Brock
When
Lesnar
they-
returned last night at SummerSlam Night 2.
I want to say this here too, because this is a subsect of fans that I haven't really gone after as publicly, but they need to be exposed and mocked and ridiculed and really kicked out of this fan base too. British YouTubers are the absolute worst. They are the worst. They are, I will say it, they are subhuman. The British YouTubers do not deserve rights. And I tell you what, every time I hear a British YouTuber talk about wrestling in 2025, I'm glad Islam's taking over the UK. Did you hear that?
Pyrocynical?
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, they don't have rights. So
Cultaholic can eat it.
Very fitting.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to worry about them talking about the WWE very long, because all mention and clips of that, because it's fictional violence, that's banned in the UK now. Ofcom is putting that through. So you're not going to see these guys in it anymore, because they're not going to be able to talk about it. They can watch it, but they can't talk about it.
Yeah, you hear that, WrestleMania, you massive fat...
We still like you, Matthew. Botchamania is the best.
No, we don't. No, we don't. He
Botchamania
speaks
is the
for
best.
himself.
To attack John Cena. To be, I'm assuming, John Cena's next opponent. But the fact that he is still in an ongoing lawsuit is crazy to think about. And that he is named. And he's still named to this day whilst I'm making this video.
Not a defendant.
Where did your forehead go? Like, your forehead got deleted, bro. Where'd it go?
Yeah, by the way, this is some... again, when we talking about this Janelle Grant, Vince McMahon situation, this is basically Diddy and Cassie all over again. It's like, it wasn't like she was like this unwilling victim. It's like she knew exactly what she was doing, which is exactly why Diddy got off, because these people knew.
So it's crazy to think about that. But to everyone that's upset with the awful, awful, disgusting decision that they made, I'm with you. Like, you're not alone. I hate this decision that they made, and the fact that they brung a guy like Brock Lesnar back to the business. It just proves that all they care about is cheap pops, big names, and I get it. It's John Cena's retirement tour. He was a big opponent for John Cena in the past, but like, sure, have him back for one match just so John Cena.
There's only so
Wait, I thought you didn't want him back. What?
I just want to say for the record, like, the reason that you have things like this is because there is no draw in the WWE anymore. Like, the biggest draw is when The Rock came back for that, whatever that WrestleMania thing with Cody Rhodes, or
that was last year.
But that's what gets attention nowadays, even among the wrestling fan that still watches. These basically modern day legends. I mean, I grew up with Brock Lesnar being the WWE, and I mean, he never physically, he's a very impressive guy, but he was never much of a character. You know what I mean? But that's the fact that he is getting this kind of attention just proves that there is no draw right now in the WWE.
True.
Here's another sewer mutant.
Are you out of your rabbit ass mind?
My rabbit ass mind.
We ain't seen nothing yet, bitch. I wish we didn't see nothing. That was your fucking idea? That? You got me so goddamn mad. That was your idea. So fuck me, I guess. That is your idea.
Yes.
I'm not going to do that.
Yes.
I'm not going
to. In the derogatory term, yes. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought he was asking for John Cena to hold him down.
This
style.
is your idea for the John Cena farewell tour. He dropped number 17 to a fucking babyface Cody Rhodes.
Pro tip, Johnny, when you're mad, it helps to script out things, so that way you're not like, you thought, over and over again. Because anger tends to get circular, friend.
Ooh, I'm mad.
Oh, like this person's mad.
WWE is genuinely a gross company. I don't think I can support their shows anymore, and I urge you to do the same. Just right now, as I'm recording,
just like Black Rock
came back.
Was this before or after the dick
big
helicopter?
hype moment aura thing
Nothing
to
before the
confront
dick
John
helicopter.
Cena at the end of SummerSlam? Brock Lesnar is actively being
All of a sudden, there's a
investigated in
problem.
a sex trafficking lawsuit that also names WWE and Vince McMahon. Brock Lesnar is explicitly named as being somebody who the victim was trafficked.
She wasn't the victim.
Yeah,
He signed it. But let me put it to you this way. I'm going to be very, very blunt about this. If you sign an NDA, you are not a victim. Real
Right.
victims don't sign NDAs.
He just says right here that Lesnar trafficked that woman. He didn't. This guy should get sued. Seriously,
Right.
this is libel.
But no,
Yep.
you have morons like this doofus here who legitimately thinks that Brock Lesnar was involved in a sex trafficking or operation with this woman, and even like I said, even the lawsuit itself never says that.
Lesnar got a weird case. Why is he around? Triple H? TKO? That's why they decided not to do pressers tonight.
Another thing, this is for black women and gay men. Don't do selfie videos with that Jiffy Pop thing in your hair. Just stop. Just don't do it. Like, either get a perm like a freaking adult, or don't embarrass yourself like this.
Why wear the satin cap like that? Just, I get it. You just got out of bed, and you want to bitch about something. I get it, but like, come on. You look like a chef. You look like a chef.
I mean, the Jiffy Pop hairdo, and then like the finger, like going like this, like in midway, like this. You're just marking every single stereotype in like 9 seconds.
Because they know they're disgusting for bringing that man back.
Okay, here's another one.
Do you support this?
There we go. That's what I wanted to see.
What the
English, friend. English.
Five.
Why? Why are we doing this?
There we go.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Why am I balding
Why are
on the
we
side of
doing
my
this?
head?
Why are we doing this? Why?
Jacob?
Why are we doing this?
Jacob, this is where the closed captions scared clicking should be placed.
Help.
I honestly want to understand the mindset of these people, because again, it's like, are these people alien to like the biggest name still associated to the WWE? You could have an issue with any number of things in their past, or like, oh, Triple H put blackface on, or Stone, and like whatever. You could point to Stone Cold, what happened with him and his wife. You could point, and it's like, are these people, are they disconnected from the idea that the biggest talent might have some things you could have issues with, but like those are that's where the attention is. It's not with any talent that's been cultivated over the last 5 to 10 years. It's all older names and faces.
This is the problem, because this is a big reason why these people hate Vince McMahon to begin with, because Vince McMahon always put the focus on the biggest draw in the company, no matter who it was, whether it was John Cena or Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar or whatever the case may be. He would always put the focus on the biggest draw in the company. And why that upset people is that, well, if you always put the focus on the big draws whenever they come back, then what about guys like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins and all the people who are popular to the internet people? And that's why they've gravitated towards Triple H as their new savior, because he'll push all those people. He'll put all those people in the main event and whatnot, because Vince wouldn't do anything like that. Because, take one look at Sami Zayn and think, who the hell would ever want to make this person a world champion? But that's exactly where we're at now. I think there's like one more here. What is this one?
There was absolutely no reason for Brock Lesnar to come out today. Like, John Cena was just enjoying his
He
last
came out?
SummerSlam.
Coming out.
Y'all could have taken that out.
Yeah, so all the wrestling fans are big mad. They're all big mad and they're all butthurt. So Eddie, I'm gonna start off with you. What do you think about Bork Laser coming back?
I think it's fantastic because of all the death threats I've been getting over the past couple of. I'm amazed by how many people want to hang me, shoot me, boil me, kill any kind of thing, just because I happen to agree that Bork shouldn't be persecuted the way he's been persecuted for the past couple of months or years.
This is terrible. The woman who had an affair with Vince McMahon who's suing him. So
I'm absolutely disgusted by the fans now. Like, I legitimately am like, I don't know how in the world this became this way. It never was like this, and this past couple of days has been absolutely terrible.
Dude, somebody made a great joke on social media. It's like with Hogan and Brock Lesnar, this is like 9/11 and January 6th for wrestling fans. And you know what? These people don't realize that you guys have exposed yourself to normies in the worst possible way in the last couple of weeks. And to me, I'm just kind of smiling because now people who haven't paid attention to wrestling in like 5, 10, 20 years are seeing everything that I've been saying about wrestling fans for the last 5, 10, 20 years. So in a way I feel personally vindicated. But yeah.
No, it's absolutely disgusting what's been going on. And like this business has always like attracted the worst kind of people. You attract lazy people, and you attract people that don't want to get jobs. You attract people who want to live on the outskirts of life. Those are the kind of people that you attract when you have pro wrestling, right? And that used to be okay because there used to be like a line, you know. But now, I don't know how in the world people take this stuff to the point of seriousness. Where again, like I'm amazed by how many death threats I've gotten over the past few days just by talking about Bork. That's it. I mean, it's terrible. I've never experienced that, and I went through the horrible fucking IWC days where nobody, or everybody wanted to kill you just for an opinion or two. But it's gotten way too terrible now. Horrible.
Yeah, this is what I've been saying for a while. I'll give a quick little shout out to our buddy Lisa Green, who made a post about this, because this was another video that I didn't play, but essentially it's a green-haired trans individual here whining about how them is no longer going to support WWE. First of all, this is like literally Rhea Ripley's target fan base. I just hope you guys realize that. Second of all, I wanted to show this here. It's like, because a lot of people who have been gone from professional wrestling for like a while, they still think that like wrestling's fan base is like white Southern rednecks with mullets and like drinking like Bud Lights. Like it has not been that since like 1996. Like it just hasn't. Like this is the target demographic for today's wrestling audience. I think even has this picture here. This is from the Evolution event that took place about almost like a month ago in Atlanta. Of course, it was Atlanta. And yeah, those are all the gays and the girlies that joined for that whole event, because I guess that was a big thing for them too. So it's like, this is your current fan base. It's indistinguishable from the fan base of RuPaul's Drag Race. And that's not a good thing. Yeah.
I'm disgusted. Appalled and disgusted.
Mm-hmm. I like my wrestling back in the days where, my people died at 40.
Exactly.
When they went out like men.
They wouldn't have to deal with all this.
You're right. Oh, man. Yeah, and like I said, people are like, how did it get this bad? Like I said, the focus of wrestling, and I mentioned this many times, I'll say it again, when you move the primary target audience to New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia, and that's who you primarily promote to for a course of 10 years, it shouldn't be surprising that this is what your fan base eventually turns into. Like, it shouldn't be that surprising. But any final thoughts here on the return of Bork Laser before we move on to our next topic?
To that point,
don't know enough about him.
To that point, Philadelphia gave us ECW, and New York gave us a lot of bloody things. So to show you how terrible New York and Philadelphia have become as manly cities,
because I mean, back in the 90s, like I said, New York, Philly, Chicago, they were all the ECW hardcores, and
it was balls.
Mm-hmm. Like these are the same people who would chant "She's a crack whore," and now we have like how did it get this bad?
Man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. That is her fan base. 1,000%. Let's go ahead and move over to this story, because this is an interesting one I want to dissect here, because obviously there's political implications to the whole Bill Burr situation, but for anyone who's been a longtime follower of Bill Burr, you've seen this coming for a while, and it really doesn't have much to do about the Trump stuff, because the Trump stuff and the Ben Shapiro stuff is like what he's known for now, but this whole descent into whatever it is Bill Burr has become started way before that. You guys remember about a decade ago where Bill Burr used to have a pretty popular podcast that he would host, I think like once a week or something like that, where he would basically just like
Monday morning podcast or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he just like kind of ramble on, and that was actually a pretty big podcast for his time period. It wasn't as big as like something like a Joe Rogan or anything like that, but he had a pretty significant following. Yeah, right. But after a little while happened, people stopped tuning out to Bill Burr's podcast because they noticed that essentially his tone and his opinion started changing very, very drastically.
His
Yeah,
wife
it was
started
what?
doing episodes with him, and really, that's what
Literally was doing
the
episodes with
iDubbbz
him.
effect.
So here's what I say here. We're going to start with this story, but there's a bigger story in between here because I want to point out a couple of key points of Bill Burr's act to show you that it's not just that all of a sudden he's all against Trump and Trump's the orange bigot man and all that stuff. It's that it's clear that his wife wears the pants in this family. I'll explain to you what I mean here. But Bill Burr did a podcast not too long ago where he went at Ben Shapiro, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, called people racist and cowards, saying that woke was stolen for black people. Now, I will say this, that's only partially true because the whole idea of quote unquote being woke was some nonsense that the left started, and then that stuff got basically the right co-opted it and threw it back in their face. Now they're upset that basically woke is used to describe anything that they support, which that's what you guys started with. So, I mean, you can't complain because it got stolen from you and threw back in your face. But we'll get to that here in a second.
As Jesse Lee Peterson would say, black lesbians.
Yes, exactly. We'll save other black lesbians later for the show. Burr could not handle criticism, has reverted to being a generally funny comedian pre-Donald Trump era. To the other name, political lecturer. This is Outkick, by the way. But he's actually talking about in the wake of the whole Stephen Colbert situation and all the late night comedians, that Burr has also seemed to be joining this whole group of people. It's also worth noting now as well that another added change that could be noted here is that when Burr started his podcast years ago, he wasn't involved in multiple major Disney shows like he is now. So that could be another reason why he's shown a certain opinions over the course of the last couple of years. But essentially here it says that he doesn't even know what the word means. He's talking about Ben Shapiro because Ben Shapiro did a podcast a while ago calling him woke and saying that, he's started to parrot the woke narrative. So then he went after Shapiro by saying he doesn't even know what the word means. It says that woke, his definition of woke is white liberals, a definition of woke. They don't even know what it is. They just took the word from black people. Now, that's the worst thing about our people. He's talking about white people. It's like, not only do we take from other cultures, but we don't even understand the definition, talking about woke. So apparently he hates the term woke because it was stolen from black people. It wasn't given the proper definition. Like I said, it was basically weaponized against you, and you were the ones who started it. So it's kind of on you. But he goes on to say that, not just Ben Shapiro, he has a problem with racists who have been offending him and his wife over the course of the last couple of years. It says that effing guy, Burr says, he was trying to bring me into his fold. At one point, the guy liked me, then all of a sudden, I'm an effing asshole. What am I supposed to do? I said, am I supposed to look at that guy as an adult? And then he went on to talk about the political left. He says, racist, they're racist. They send pictures of monkeys to me and my wife, Nina Hill. It says they're horrible people, they're cowards, they will never say it to your face here, right? So I will say this here. There has been a lot of pushback and a lot of comments made about Bill Burr and his wife specifically. If you recall, a couple of years ago at a UFC event at Madison Square Garden, Bill Burr and his wife were there when Trump showed up. And then, of course, Trump, I think it was Bill Burr's wife, had flipped him off or something like that. And that whole picture went viral. And obviously, Bill Burr had to essentially defend his wife because a lot of people were like, yeah, he went up there and disrespected Trump. I want to see if I can pull the actual video here. I hope I didn't get rid of it. Oh yeah, here it is right here. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys to see. This is Burr defending his wife after she got flack for flipping off Trump a couple of years ago after that whole thing went viral on social media. You're gonna start noticing a trend here with the way that Bill Burr makes a lot of his arguments. And put it to you this way, when you listen to Bill Burr talk, just imagine that it's his wife who's actually talking, and you'll start seeing a pattern develop very quickly.
Okay, let me just read this here. Donald Trump walked into an arena that holds
sounds like a
20,000
man.
people, and 19,999 people were so happy. And then there was Bill Burr's wife. Yeah, and I love how people are like, oh, how can you do that? It's like, well, he's racist. He likes to sort of plagiarize some Hitler stuff every once in a while. Like, what is surprising that a black woman would
Hitler
like
never
him? I
said
don't
good
like
morning.
the guy.
That's why we
My
say
wife giving him the finger is what I love about my wife. Do you know where you stand with her? And you can't say that about a lot of people.
So that was his defense of his wife regarding that whole situation. But like I said, it goes even deeper than that. Let's go back to a little bit of his comedy here, because again, this is something else that people have noticed with some of his recent stand-up bits. it sounds like a lot of this, like he's just essentially regurgitating points that probably his wife has made behind closed doors. And you notice with his certain rants like this one here he did on Saturday Night Live a while ago about white women. Again, understand, basically pretend like Bill Burr's wife is speaking here.
I gotta tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzed.
Average conversations
The
white
woke
men
movement
have.
was supposed to be about people of color, and it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. My name is Burr, with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys, the nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to?
Yeah, and you wonder why people generally have kind of lost favor with Bill Burr here. And then I wanted to play this one here too, because like I said, this isn't just one kind of incident, right? Like I don't want to sit here and be like that, oh, it's all of a sudden it's about Trump, all of a sudden it's about Shapiro. Again, this has been going on for at least a decade that I know of, and when you go back and you watch Bill Burr's older stuff, his stuff is very, very funny. It's not like we're going to sit here and pretend like all of a sudden he's not funny, he doesn't have the ability to be funny, but the content of his jokes has changed significantly over the last couple of years, and this is a perfect example here. I'll play a little bit of this.
You know what the funniest answer I got? I go, why do you think people are still in the Klan? 2024. And some guy yelled out, he goes, something to do. You know, we all got our things. Some people are into bowling. Some people like to draw. Some people like to blow up churches with innocent people in there. I mean, it's, you know, it's all, you know, whatever your trip is. You know why they still exist?
His wife can't write jokes.
Some people go, well, you know, it's a First Amendment issue. It's a freedom of speech. We have this wonderful thing in this country, for white people only, called freedom of speech.
Uh-oh,
I mean, they
white
have
voice.
to be allowed to join these groups. They have to be allowed to march down the street with semi-automatic weapons, chanting the N-word, trying to create a race war on the internet, okay? They have to be allowed to do this. If they are not allowed to do this, it's a slippery slope. Next thing you know, there goes the town pool. So, you really have to be careful about censorship. You name one other fucking race that can do that. Yeah, no, I'm telling you. The reason why they still fucking
He
exist
leans
is
in.
because they don't
Let me
fuck
tell
with
you
white
about
people.
racism.
That's basically it. If they did to white people what the fuck they've done to black people, how long do you think that stupid fucking group would have been around? Maybe 5 weeks, because it was the 1800s and it took a month to get across the state to get to those idiots. And they would have mowed them down with the first machine gun that was the size of a fucking cannon. And that would have been fucking it. No, you don't believe me? Do you remember 9/11 when those brown people knocked down those 2 perfectly good white buildings? My people lost their minds. Kill all those motherfuckers. Blow up that whole side of the plant. Anybody with a brown shirt, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, the exact same people. If the Klan or Proud Boys does some fucked up shit, what is the best we have? The most liberal of my people. What's the best we got? Oh my God, that's terrible. Can you believe that? What is wrong with people? I mean, I just don't get it.
So I want to note here, because there's 2 big outliers there from that just little bit alone. First of all, he just casually compares 9/11, which to this day is still the worst terrorist attack in American history, where 3,000 people died. And we all saw it live on television, to a KKK rally, because there's no real difference between a modern KKK rally and 9/11, right? And then on top of that, he goes on to you catch this here. I'm gonna replay this to see if you guys caught on to this as well.
And if Proud Boys does some fucked up shit, what is the best we have? The most liberal of my people. What's the best we got?
Oh my God, that's terrible.
So he's then trying to portray this alternate reality that, when the KKK and the Proud Boys are doing racist rallies, the most liberal of my people will just sit there and go like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. In his mind, he thinks that somehow the left is politically tame when it comes to what they call racism from the KKK, Nazis, and all the other stuff. And basically, what he's saying here is that the left, they're just too tame. They're just too contempt with views of and outright despise racism. Does that describe any kind of reality that we've been living in the last 10, 15 years in this country at all?
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm. But by the way, I know we're going to get to this later on with the Sydney Sweeney conversation. I played you all the videos last week of that 30-second Gene ad that literally got her called a Nazi. And by the way, that has now escalated now over the course of the last week. So, like I said, does this match reality in any way, shape, or form whatsoever? And again, on top of all this, he's gone on multiple late night shows. He mocked the people after the LA fires that burned down a lot of people's buildings. Went out there and mocked those people who was like, how come, there's nobody helping? How come everything is just on fire? He went, I think it was on either Kimmel or Conan, one of those two, basically mocked those people, called them a douchebag over that. Then he went on multiple other late night shows and basically became a cheerleader for that guy who shot the United Healthcare CEO, because apparently he deserved to die just because he was the CEO of the company. So Luigi's a hero, right? Free Luigi. And then that's the reason why people have turned on him. So again, I just want to make this very, very clear here. It's not just about Trump. It's not just about Shapiro. This is a pattern of behavior that people have now noticed for 10 years, while people have slowly yet surely gone against Bill Burr in his latest stand-up. This is why people essentially don't like you anymore, the way that they used to. And it's not to do with politics. It's the fact that you have essentially become a complete turd basket. That's probably the safest way that I could say it here on the YouTube, despite all of our other racist slurs that we said over the course of tonight's show. So, Cider, I'll start this one off with you. What is your take on Bill Burr, the individual? To me, it seems like that Bill Burr has, one, been influenced by, of course, Disney money, because he's done a lot of Star Wars projects over the last few years, and two, he's clearly let his black wife get into his ear about how he should mold his view of current events in world history.
This is exactly what happened to iDubbbz. Now he doesn't have a house. So, I mean, this is just what happens. When you marry a liberal woman, you need to let her have her own podcast and her own little world that she gets to exist in. And you have fantastic hate sex with her. And that's about it. That's about all you got. Because there's no end to it. They don't. My third fiance was a third wave feminist, and she was very difficult to handle. Very difficult to handle, but boy howdy, did she take the patriarchy out on me? That's for sure. But
and by the way, just real quick, I just wanted to make people know. Apparently, we did go down for a couple of seconds on YouTube. We are back on YouTube. This is why I also put the Rumble link in there too. Whatever reason we go down on YouTube, we'll still be on Rumble and on X Live uninterrupted. So, but you can go ahead and continue there.
Oh, I was just going to say that they never are satisfied. So no matter how much ground you cede to them, there's still more to take. And so they don't do it. If they start in with you like, hey, you need to start listening to these podcasts and repeating these lines, and I don't like the way you talk about this, you're like, okay, bitch, there's the door. And I said to her, bitch! Hey. No, Jacob, none of that? No.
Like an elderly Jewish man.
We were making a reference to Timmy and No Bricks. Here, we'll play a clip for you later on.
Yeah.
Gotta get the string tucked down too, so don't worry.
Bill Burr, I actually just saw him on Broadway 3 months ago, playing George Aronow and Glenn Ross, which fit him very well because he's an angry asshole. And look, that's Bill Burr's shtick. It's been his shtick since I first saw his stand-up special, like in 2008. Why do I do this? Then his follow-up in 2010. It's a very funny stand-up comedian. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because we live in a polarized time or political tribal time, that he feels the need to be a spokesperson for things he really has nothing to do with. I think he's gotten less funny since he got married. I think that he tries to give perspective to, whatever you want to call it, traditionally marginalized groups. And it's like I don't know. He probably has the guilty liberal white guy thing from being from Boston and knowing how much his identity is tied to whatever perceived racism of that city and how black people have been treated. He got into it with Anthony Cumia back in the day with for Opie and Anthony. If any of you are familiar with that, with the shock jock kind of radio stuff, Bill Burr's kind of always been liberal minded. He's always kind of argued from that point of view, especially in a contentious way on that show. I'm not giving him a free pass because, again, you need to be funny. If you're a comedian, your job is to be funny. Your job is to entertain. And even if there was scattered laughter among people who think the same as he did, it's not like a normal show where he's delivering like killer joke after killer joke after killer joke, or at least the way he did back in the day. And it's like, it's just not landing. You're speaking from an ideological point of view where you want to like throw white women under the bus, which is fine. Listen, I love hearing you throw white women under the bus. It's great, but it's not really about the joke. It's about, hey, look at this group of people who's not doing enough. Look at these people. And it's like, shut the fuck up. That's not a comedian's job. A comedian's job is not to rile up the masses. It's to point shit out that might not be popular. But it's like, that's you're echoing the same talking points as corporations. You're echoing the very same things that are said in advertisements, in commercials, on the news every fucking day. And he's talking about the fucking KKK, an organization that I don't know has been mostly defunct for fucking 30 years. I mean, I do know they exist in pockets, but it's like, dude, there's more of a threat from like inner city gangs, just like shooting up street corners in terms of, you want to talk about a race war? You want to talk about people like who have an intimidating profile?
We literally just did a whole bit last week on drill rap. I think that's probably a bigger problem in America right now than the KKK. They might have a little bigger body count.
But even if he's just telling a joke, the thing is, it's not funny. It's commentary that he wants the audience to agree with him, not necessarily laugh at what he's saying. But he's still trying to deliver it in that jokey way where it's like, okay, that's not telling a joke. That's like you're kind of beating the audience over the head with your rhetoric and wanting, trying to go, not goad, but trying to manipulate them into laughing, because you're a celebrity, you're a well-known comedian. And like, that's the thing too, is like, the longer you've been doing this, the less you have to rely on actually being funny because you're famous. People just come see the famous guy and applaud. And hey, remember you were in that thing 25 years? Hell, I do it. You know what I mean? I'm guilty of that. So just remember that like, maybe he's at that stage of his career. He's going to say the thing Hollywood wants him to say. And he's just done being the funny guy.
Yep. I want Eddie to take a quick take on this, and then I have one other clip from Bill that I want to explain in detail.
No, that's right. The saddest thing about this is, like, I remember Bill Burr used to say all the time, like, the authenticity of comedy is, like, you can hear the person's voice when you're telling the joke. He literally just did the white man voice. Hey, everybody, I'm white. Did you know that the racism exists? It's like, ugh.
He literally did what black comedians have been doing for like 40 years.
And he used to be against that. And it's like, now you're actually just embracing it, and you're thinking that's going to get your comedy over. It's like, ew. And then to go over on 9/11 and, white people wanted to kill Arabs. It's like, wait a minute. I could have swore that there was a whole subsection that said we don't want to go to war either. Like,
and I like how he tried to frame it like it was only white people who were upset by 9/11, the worst terrorist attack in American history. It was only white people who were angry, guys.
Not the fact that it was across literally people in Queens and in Harlem. Fucking, trying to get to the ground zero to help people.
90% of this country after 9/11 wanted to wipe Afghanistan off the map. And if they had did so, no one would have said a word.
So yeah, it's really sad that his wife is writing his jokes now. And I mean, if he wants to go down to if he wants to go to a public pool that has a shooting issue, you can go to mine. We had 3 people got shot in my public pool a couple of days ago. So yeah,
I didn't even know they can swim.
Yeah, we just hang out. All we do is hang out and just fucking play music, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not great. So then this is another thing that I wanted to expose here too, because Bill Burr likes to frame himself as a guy who basically plays both sides of the fence, where it's like, well, I'm just as hard on the liberals as I am on the conservatives, right? And I will say this, Crowder actually made a pretty solid point about this bit, and I'm going to show you the bit right here from Saturday Night Live. Listen to how he talked about both Trump and Kamala. Now, this is, keep in mind, Bill Burr referenced this particular bit as him going after both sides. The only reference to Harris that he made in the entire bit. But according to him, that was him going after both sides. So this is something I want to point out here too. Because in mind of people like Bill Burr, they only go after the left because in their mind, the left doesn't do enough to go after the right. Again, I don't know what country you've been living in the last 10 years, but somehow these people think that their side hasn't gone far enough against their political opponents in the last 10 years. So then on the same frame, it's like, okay, so you call Donald Trump the orange bigot, but then how do you make fun of Kamala Harris? Oh, she looks like a real estate agent. She speaks out of her nose. It's like, oh yeah, that's totally equal roasting of both sides, right, guys?
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm. Like, and then people try to get away with, oh no, see, I go after both sides, but no, like I said, he went on an entire diatribe about how all the people on this side are racist, they're Nazis, they all like Trump and Elon, and then when he goes after the left, it's always because, oh well, you guys just allow these Nazis to get away with everything, and that's my problem with you guys. So it's not even in the same context, in the same stratosphere, I guess you could say criticisms here of both sides. They like to pretend like they're equally going after one another, and they're not. And then right before I get to the super chat here, I do see it. I will get to it here in a second. It's become apparently and abundantly clear to everyone that, yes, in case you didn't know, Bill Burr is married to a black woman. And it seems like that he's allowed his black wife to basically... Exactly. And it seems like he's allowed his wife to basically influence all of his political points and worldviews. Like I said, when you hear him talk about these things in public, he's not talking about the atrocities that white people have committed against black people. I can almost sit there and visualize Nina sitting there going on this hours-long diatribe with Bill, making him feel bad, and because he has to essentially work out his white guilt in his stand-up, he thinks that, well, if I go after white women for the atrocity that they've done, because my wife's probably spent hours and hours complaining about white women, then that way I can show that I'm an ally, because at least I understand, the plight of black people here in America. At least I get it. At least I can understand my role. You did that whole stand-up routine talking about white women co-opting woke. You're doing the exact same thing. There's no difference between Bill Burr and a white woman at this point. You're both essentially trying to grandstand about how sorry you are about, all the atrocities you committed against black people over the years, and how you feel really, really bad about all the things that you've done that you actually didn't do because you weren't actually involved in it at all. All it is, and I think it was Sargon the Cat said this many, 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 many years ago. It's like the only difference between the white supremacists that you hate so much, the Nazis and the racists that you hate so much, is that you have the exact same viewpoints of black people as they do, except for you pretend to have a guilty conscience about it. That's the only difference between you guys.
Well, I do want to add, though, if you just kind of zoom out a little further on that one, you ever notice how it's only the liberals that seem to have this kind of remorse? Mm-hmm. It's really weird. It's almost like they're the racists, and they're trying to let everybody know that they're super sorry for being super racist and having that low expectations racism. Like, I watched that video of a guy going around Columbia University and interviewing Columbia students, white people, obviously, and asking them, like, why is it racist to ask for ID at voting, for have voter ID? And they said, well, black people don't know where to get ID. And I was like, the fuck? What? And then he went around.
Black people don't have the ability to get an ID.
Well, he went around. And he found a black couple, and the husband looks at his wife, and he's like, "You believe that? You can't even buy alcohol in this town without an ID. What the hell are they talking about?" Mm-hmm. And it was the stone cold opinion of every white liberal they ran into, is that black people flatly could not get their hands on an ID, so it was racist. It was black people don't know where the DMV is what one woman said. One blonde, like track runner looking gal says, black people don't know where the DMV is. And I was like, the what?
Yeah, well, that's because like I said, They have the same subhuman viewpoints of black people as the white supremacists that they hate. The only difference is they pretend to feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny too is like I've always looked at myself and people in general as individuals, okay, and like the way I look at like whatever in general the inner city black community is like there are competent people who got their shit together who have to wade through the sludge of fucking assholes, and you know what? I relate to that because that's how I look at my life. Now, granted, I never had to grow up in an area like that, but it's like that's how I relate to the individual who has to get around the inefficiency and competency of the people that live, you know, in their neighborhood, in their community, whatever it might be. So I feel sorry, but it's just dealing with humanity in general. You know what I mean? It's a pain in the ass.
But that's what happens when you have a victim complex, because you think that your plight is so much worse than anyone else has ever existed in the world, and it is just not the case. Real quick, I want to get to the super chat here real quick. Beautiful here gave us $5 and asked a very quick question. Do you guys think that Bill Burr's wife's boyfriend approved his defense? It's Hollywood, so you honestly can't say that does not happen. So, I mean, like, we know what goes on over there. And I want to play this here, too, because this is literally exactly what I'm talking about. This is from Ryan Long. He made this a while ago because this is how long it's been going on. This is actually from 5 years ago. And good to see that absolutely nothing has changed in 5 years. So here you go. Oh, let me get the audio. Yeah, here you go.
When me and Brad first met, I didn't think we'd get along, but turns out we kind of agree on everything. Your racial identity is the most important thing. Everything should be looked at through the lens of race.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. We both have a lot of opinions about people of color, even though we barely know any.
I say colored people, but as long as we're classifying them, we both think minorities are a united group who think the same and act the same.
And vote the same. You don't want to lose your black card. Sorry, I don't know. I just think we should
roll back discrimination laws so we can hire based on race again. Jinx, now you owe me a Coke. Hey, tell them what you told me yesterday.
White actors should only do voices for white cartoon characters.
I've been saying that for years. Stick to your own.
Us white people, we have so much privilege.
I agree. It is a privilege to be white. Ask him about interracial dating.
All I said is that black men who date white women have internalized racism, and white men that date ethnic women are fetishizing them.
Guys against interracial dating now. Like, am I being pranked? Did Boomer put you up to this?
Ugh, you know that taco place is white owned?
White people should be making white foods like Kraft macaroni and cheese, no seasoning, not even salt. It's like he's a mind reader. I mean, I've been pushing for segregation forever, and my man does what?
I created an improv comedy show exclusively for ethnic people.
Guy segregates comedy on my birthday.
White people need to stop wearing dreadlocks, and they need to stop appropriating black people's music.
Shaved heads and country music, the way God intended.
You know all white people are racist.
I'm listening.
Even if you have a black wife or a black friend group, you're still really racist.
You know, he just kicked a guy out of the organization for having a black girlfriend, but if you can promise me he's still really racist, we'll consider letting him back in. Black people should only shop at black businesses.
I guess the only thing we really disagree about is I think white people are the root of all evil.
But what did I tell you, though? If we can narrow that down to a certain group of tiny-hatted white people, I think we can come to an understanding.
Technically, I don't consider Jewish people white.
Neither do I.
Yeah,
Rick's not here for that one.
Yeah. By the way, that was 5 years ago. He did that bit, and it's still relevant to this day. Because guess what? Nothing has changed. We're still doing this. This is why I was mentioning earlier here. It's like we're just recycling 2016 and pretending like it's not 2025 right now, and that's what it feels like.
Feels like we're recycling the 1860s, but you know,
that too. Any final thoughts on this one before we move on?
No, I just want Bill Burr to go away.
Yeah. Birth of a Nation's coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Reclamation.
I thought black people couldn't get driver's licenses because it was like a generational thing, like all their dads were in prison. So if you're a felon, you can't get like certain privileges.
That's why most black people can't buy guns, because they all have records. Yeah.
What?
It's generational racism. This is what
the fuck am I hearing here? What is this? This is a thing? I just figured guns are expensive, so you just get them off the street where they're cheaper.
No, they just buy the illegal ones because they can't.
They don't want that trace to the crime either. You know, there's that whole thing.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's also pretty stupid to go get the gun that's like you. Oh yeah, that I sold it to that guy. That very unique gun that did that very unique shooting. Yes, that guy.
With the serial number shaved off. Yes.
Jamal was here 3 days ago and bought the specific gun. Here's his registration form.
Strays out here, man.
With a black guy, you can't say just that one over there. They kind of all look alike. So
yeah. And then my favorite new crime is how these idiots post videos of themselves with their guns with the switches on them, which are clearly illegal, by the way. So just
Not
by
the
them
Nintendo Switch, by the way.
So just by them showing their own faces on social media with illegal guns is a crime in and of itself. Not let alone the fact that they're actively shooting other people. So it's just a multitude of crimes you can charge.
You've also
them for.
seen these incredibly unique guns, right? Like they have these full decked out, like pimp my pistol. You know, they've gone completely nuts with the thing. And so whenever they commit a crime with that son of a whore, you're going to know that anybody in the crowd's going to be like, it's the guy with the gold gun that has spinner rims on it. You know, like, look, what do you know? He's got his Instagram full of that incredibly one-of-one fucking gun.
That's actually a plot line in The Wire, like season 3 or something. Like this guy Burr gets caught because he's using this specific Austrian pistol. It's like a 380, you know, the ammunition. And it's like, it was pretty easy to find because there's not a whole lot of people who use that gun and that ammunition.
The spinners were on it.
Oh, boy. Well, let's move over to our next topic here. Cynthia Erivo is going viral for her portrayal of a mockery of Jesus Christ in her play Jesus Christ Superstar. He'll be back. He ain't going anywhere. He's Mexican. Let's go ahead and bring this up. This is completely unrelated. Thank you very much. This is a video that's been going viral here. I don't know, like guys, I swear to you, we're not usually this racist. It's just something in the water.
It's a very unique night. I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
I will say this, you know, as the fact that there's only like 1.5 white people on the show here tonight. If you had half,
oh my god!
If there was half more white person on the show would be very, very uncomfortable.
How am I just one? I feel like Vegeta in that Hitler meme.
You get a free pass, apparently.
Have you seen that yet? The Dragon Ball Z Hitler meme?
Oh my god!
No.
Why is Dragon Ball Z a little thing?
Oh god, we have to play. I gotta play that at the end of the show for you guys. Holy shit, you're gonna puke yourself laughing. Oh my god.
Okay. So let me kind of set the stage here for this whole conversation. Several months ago, it was announced that Cynthia Erivo, who looks like a demon, who you're going to see in this video looks like a freaking demon, was chosen to play Jesus Christ in a play called Jesus Christ Superstar. Now, those of you guys who don't actually know what Jesus Christ Superstar is, I did a whole video on this on Bounding several months back when this was first announced. Essentially, this is a play that goes all the way back to, I think, like either the 60s or the 70s. But what somebody did, and this is why I'm going to be very, very strong here, because I know some people are going to try to push back and say that, you know, this isn't really blasphemous, that, you know, they're just doing this for attention or whatever the case may be. The person who originally wrote this play went deep into the four Gospels, Matthew, Luke, John, and Mark, went deep into the Gospels to essentially pervert the entire story of Jesus Christ to make the good guys of the Bible the bad guys and the bad guys of the Bible the good guys. There's a lot of Gnosticism. Probably so. I was just going to say probably so. Go back and watch my episode on Sunday, and it's just further proof of what I was saying on Sunday's episode. But so this whole play is a complete perversion. It makes Judas somehow the good guy of the story. It basically says that the apostles were just a bunch of dicks that didn't really care about anyone. It mocks the followers of Christ at its very core, at its very essence. And then obviously plays into the Gnostic retelling of the relationship between Mary Magdalene and Jesus Christ, which comes from Gnosticism as well. At its very core, everything about this is specifically calculated to be blasphemous. So when I say that is blasphemous, I'm not saying this loosely as if somehow I don't know what I'm talking about. I know this because I've done literally 101 episodes talking about this very issue specifically. So this is what this whole thing is. And it's no surprise whatsoever that the overwhelming majority of the people who are a part of this particular play are people in the LGBTQ community who are, let's be very, very honest here, a biblical definition and abomination against the Lord. That's essentially what this is. So this is what we're dealing with here. So at its very core, its very essence, this is a complete mockery of Christ that we see from Hollywood time and time again. Again, I want you to go back and check out Sunday's Bible Lens, when literally the tagline of the episode is why the overwhelming majority of celebrities are going to hell. And there's another example here. So like I said, Cynthia on the left here is supposed to be playing Jesus, and then Adam Lambert, who for whatever reason was fronting Queen for a while, I don't get it, it's supposed to be Judas. So this is the video that went viral because she looks like a demon. Like I'm not you guys see this with your own two eyes. She looks like and I said this many times on social media, she looks like the demon who's possessing her. And as every day that goes on, I think that's becoming less and less of a joke and more of a reality. She looks like the demon that is possessing her soul and her body right now. That's essentially what we're looking at here. But of course, to the surprise of absolutely no one, this whole performance here, this whole play, rave reviews with the critics. Everyone absolutely loves this. Here's a little article from Variety here. If I can pop this up here. Adam Lambert and Cynthia Erivo are the most divine frenemies ever in the smashing Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl concert review. By the way, this isn't from our girl Tatiana, which honestly, Tatiana, if you need a date, just I'll go out with you. I mean, that way you don't have to watch gay people make out during like Top Gun or anything like that anymore by yourself. That's a sidebar issue. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This whole thing is just one big glowing review of, like I said, the whole masterpiece. I love how this is just going to show you how much these people hate God. They even wrote in the title, a masterpiece that exists arguably in the most perfect form in its original 1970s concept. Now keep in mind, the 1970s version is the one that started this whole thing, and it's probably the most wicked one that exists here. So of course these people will love it because, like I said time and time again, these people just simply hate God. They're rebelling actively against God. They hate God, and anything that mocks God, they love and they celebrate. Now, some people always come up with the arguments, which I kind of hate because you're kind of not looking at it from the bigger picture. They always go, well, how come you guys don't do this for Muhammad? Or how come you guys don't do this for the Jews? Or how come you guys don't do this for the Hindus or some other false god or anything like that? There's a reason why. Satan doesn't need to mock his own creation. Here's what I mean by that. He doesn't need to mock other demons. A lot of these religions, that Allah and Vishnu and Brahm, those are all demons. I've gone into great detail about why that is the case here. He doesn't need to mock his own creations. He wants to mock God. He's rebelling against God. He hates God. So everything that is created in this world to essentially mock God is exactly what we're seeing here. And I think this is exactly why this week's episode of the Bible Lens is going to be on Isaiah 5 that talks about woe to those who call good evil and evil good, because this is exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing wickedness in public display being celebrated as good by very, very wicked people. And these are the ones who are trying to lecture you about the culture of the society that we live in today. These individuals. And I think it was Adam Lambert. Let me see if I can pop this one up just real quick before I swing it back to you guys here. There was Adam Lambert, of course, championing Jesus Christ Superstar. Says, shouldn't the teachings of Jesus transcend gender? Let me be very, very clear about this, because there's a lot of people who try to play this game. There's a lot of people out there who claim that, they respect the teachings of Jesus Christ when they actually don't, because in their mind, they think that Jesus Christ, taught everyone to love one another, don't judge one another. And that's the only quote unquote teachings of Christ that they actually like and believe in. Now, when we go deeper into the teachings of Christ, like say, those who say, Lord, Lord, have I not done this? Have I not done that? And he says, depart from me. I never knew you, you wicked one, you one who works iniquity. They don't like hearing that stuff. When Jesus says, I am the truth and the way, that no one gets to the Father except through me, meaning that there is no path to salvation outside of Jesus Christ, period. They don't like hearing that one, right? They don't like hearing about, the parables of, the wicked servant, and basically all the people who end up dying and going into hell because he literally said himself, those who deny me in front of men, I will deny you in front of my Father. They don't like hearing those. So in reality, you don't actually like the teachings of Jesus Christ. You like your amended version of his teachings, where you can essentially pick and choose what you think is good and what you think is bad and ignore everything else, because you in yourself, in your heart, actually hate Jesus Christ as well. And that's really what it is. There really isn't much more for me to say about this whole situation. Is that I've said this on Sunday's episode. At some point, you people are just going to have to wake up and see exactly what's going on here. They're not hiding it from you. They're not being subtle about anything. The only one who's still kind of in this denial about what these people are actually doing is you, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. Eddie, I'm going to point at you. I'm going to pick on you. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. They kicked me off for all the racism I was talking about earlier. So
yeah, right. We got new. This is a very, very bass boosted stream that we have here. But
absolutely,
what is your take on Cynthia Erivo? First of all, I don't know why women are still trying to pretend like this woman is attractive. She looks like a ghoul. She looks like a literal demon that walked out of hell.
Who in the world thinks this woman is attractive? You were talking about
women.
No woman believes that. Nothing believes that this woman's attractive. You talk about she's possessed by a demon. I looked at that photo. She's possessed by Don Cheadle. She's fucking just skinny and just and ugh. Mm-hmm. Why in the world anyone would think this person should be a star is beyond me. I'm absolutely horrified by what Hollywood and all this other shit. I actually like Adam Lambert and Queen though.
Do you?
I mean, it's a good replacement. I didn't mind him. I liked him more than the other guy. Not Freddie Mercury. The other, there was a one in between. But no, she's crazy. She's demon possessed, and I'm not a fan of her.
Not at all. And there's nothing to be a fan of at this point. It's like, look, does she have singing talent? Yeah, she does. But how does she use it? She does shit like this. How does she look? She looks the way that she looks. Is there anything that I'm supposed to find redeeming about this woman? Oh, by the way, I just want to point this out here too. This is the same woman who obviously is being paraded around and being celebrated for being in a play mocking Jesus Christ. And then in a few months, she's going to be in Wicked 2 or part 2 of Wicked that comes out later on this year. And of course, a movie called Wicked, which is literally about a witch that was actually good in the grand scheme of things. That whole thing of evil, good, and good evil, like I said, it's not even subtle anymore at this point. It is no coincidence whatsoever that she is essentially one of the poster children of this entire movement.
Yes, well, she does look like a demon. She looks like Gollum, except like she doesn't have any hair. But
she looks like a sleep paralysis demon.
Oh,
yeah.
She looks like that demon that you just wake up and you see staring at you while you can't move at night. That's what she looks like.
She looks like Nosferatu coming up the fucking staircase. That's what she looks like. But no,
nigga.
Jeez, Eddie.
Even as somebody who's not religious, I have to look at this and just be like, okay, it is weird that she really looks ghoulish. She looks like a demon. She has since the Wicked PR. Like when they, when they were going around talking to people, press junkets and stuff, but, and her reactions to questions is just like she's this very weirdly innocent, ethereal creature or something, inside the skin of Cynthia Erivo. I don't get it. I think it's weird. I think it's like has to do with Hollywood and just like being a weirdo and performance art and all that, all the stuff that's incorporated with that. But it's like, anything that's traditional, anything that's going to be like, Christianity is responsible for so much of Western civilization and so much of that's been built and progress forward. And, at the end of the day, I think this is just like, thumbing your nose at that and thumbing your nose at this sort of traditional creationism. But again, I'm looking at this through like as much symbolism as I can without being directly like, yeah, lady, you literally look, sound, and give the feeling of like evil. So maybe get some help, maybe get some like mental care there. Just Just saying.
Well, I mean, like I said, if she's demon possessed, you're gonna need a lot more than mental health. As far as that thing. And then there's another thing here too that I forgot to mention is that just to show you just how evil that this play actually is. If you notice that the play ends with obviously Jesus on the cross dying, right? And that's how the play ends traditionally in Jesus Christ Superstar. Now, some people won't think anything of that, but because they don't really know much about, the gospel. But of course, when we talk about Jesus Christ in the gospel, we talk about what? His death is obviously part of it, but then there's a burial and the resurrection. You don't see the resurrection in this play, and that's for a reason, because in the Bible, it teaches that when Jesus died on the cross, Satan thought that he had gained victory over God by killing Jesus, by killing the Messiah, until he returned 3 days later, showing that he had power over death, right? So if you wanted to essentially go as even further to mock Jesus, what would you take out specifically that is very integral to the gospel? You remove his resurrection, showing that he was the Son of God and that he was the Messiah. It's little details like that that fly right over people's heads when they don't know much about the gospel at all. But for those who actually do know about it, they'll pick up on it and they'll see right away just how, like I said, you can't say that this is something just, get a rise out of Christians or great marketing. That's another thing that I hate. Let's expose that here for a second, just real quick before I go to Cider. This whole idea that, they only, pick on the Christians because it's good marketing, it's good publicity. Okay, do you hear yourself when you say stuff like that? Essentially what you're saying is that in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, there's actually a financial incentive to mock God. Do you guys take from point A to point B? That's essentially what you're saying when you're trying to defend stuff like this, is that, they do this because it's financially viable to them to mock Christ, to mock God. And why is that? And then it goes back to the other question. Well, how come they don't do this with Muhammad? Why come they don't do this with Vishnu? Because they're not God. None of them are. You don't think the devil knows who the real God is?
Yes, the devil knows, yes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I don't think I've said as much as I'm going to say here. Cider, what was your take on black gay demon lady?
She's scary. That's all I got for you, man. She's just scary. Anytime I see her, it's incredibly unsettling. Like, you remember how Piccolo looked in Dragon Ball Evolution? That's what Cynthia Erivo just kind of reminds me of. It's not that she looks like
not
that.
Even Piccolo. I would say Dende. But she looks like a
like an emaciated Dende, yeah. The Arms of the Angels song starts playing when they show you that Dende. But it's just she should be playing in the Namekian. She just doesn't that uncanny valley thing just triggers in me every time I see her. It's like, nope, get away. That's gonna eat me. It's gonna drag me back to a cave and eat me. I need to leave. Even if it's on screen. You know how cats get freaked out when things jump at them on screen and they'll run away? That's me when Cynthia Erivo appears on screen. I'm like, ah!
Do you guys ever see Legend? That Tom Cruise fantasy movie by Ridley Scott?
Yeah.
Well, right as he's about to go into the dungeon or whatever, there's that really creepy goblin thing that tries to kill him. That's what she looks like. Okay, she looks like I'm trying to remember. Was it Meg? I think the creature's name was Meg, and it was just this really creepy Robert Picardo. Who's acting with a puppet, but that's what she looks like. She's a creepy demon ghoul creature that's going to suck your soul out. So that's the feeling. That's the gist I get from it.
Can you imagine being her intern? She has in her contract, certain jelly beans aren't allowed in her bowl or whatever. And she just snaps at you with one of those fucking finger claws that she has. Just, you little bastard. Terrible.
I mean, like I said, and you see this with a lot of women in Hollywood now. There's something going on here, and I know I don't have enough evidence to prove exactly what it is, and I don't know exactly what it is myself, but there's something that is very, very wrong about a lot of the women in Hollywood, because we're being told that they're all getting this fat removal surgery from their faces, and that's why everyone looks all demented now. But it's there's a multitude of women who look like they're actively dying, and it's starting to get to a point where it's there's something happening here. I mean, like I said, not only Erivo in that stage play looks worse than she looked a few months ago during Wicked. And then Ariana Grande is another individual who looks like she's actively dying. And apparently, this is what Spencer said a couple of days ago, or I think was it Cider may have said this a couple of days ago. Somebody had said that, you know, we did an episode on Bounding about the whole Wicked, what was it, press tour or whatnot. And one of the videos got flagged because it saw Ariana Grande and thought that she looked like a legitimate anorexic person and flagged the video for self-harm.
Yep. No, it deleted it. It deleted it. It didn't even give us a chance. It was just, this is gone. You can't argue with it. Bye. And it didn't say that we were being hateful toward her. It didn't say that our jokes about her being anorexic were bad. It's that it depicted a person suffering with anorexia, and YouTube will not house that at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then what's her name? Wednesday got vase face.
She's another one who's starting to look like a ghoul.
The girl's like 22, and she's just looking like worse and worse.
Yeah, and somebody had the audacity to try to say, "Oh, this is the best she's ever looked." It's like she's 22. Like she looks like I said, the whole face morphing thing is like something is happening there. Something I say very dark and sinister is happening there. We may not know exactly what's going on behind closed doors, but this is not normal. And I will say that definitively. But real quick before we go on to our next topic here, I guess we'll address a little bit of breaking news because I found this to be very, very interesting. After 20 years, Howard Stern is done at Sirius XM. This just broke about like an hour ago. Sirius XM is now not going to renew Howard Stern's contract. He's been there for 20 years. He's made more money there than anyone can fathom because he was the big star who drew a lot of people to Sirius XM because it was like, oh, they're censoring over at Clear Channel or wherever it was back in the day. So come listen to me on Sirius XM where I can finally say wherever it is that I want to say, right? And that wave only lasted about a handful of years. And I think when Artie left the show, that's when a lot of people stopped listening. And then over the last 10 years, like Howard Stern, much like Bill Burr, has just become a curmudgeon on his listeners, on society in general. Basically, what was being reported is that the viewership of and the subscription numbers of SiriusXM is so low, there's no justification to pay out his contract, what he's been making for the last 20 years. So he's done. I don't know if his show is going to end entirely or if he'll just like move to YouTube or wherever the case may be, but he's no longer going to be at SiriusXM. Don't know what this means for Howard 100 and Howard 101, which is his channels over on that platform. But yeah, Howard Stern is effectively done at Sirius by the end of this year. So he's done. Any quick word on that one? I'll start with you, Rob.
I mean, I kind of think it's end of an era, even if Howard Stern goes on to do like a podcast or something to stay afloat and stay relevant. I mean, it's kind of a big deal. If you grew up in the 90s and you know, if you liked the sort of shock jock, anti-censorship view that Howard Stern promoted and that a lot of comedians promoted, and that was a great time to sort of be a part of that and be like in that atmosphere of people speaking up for their First Amendment rights, even if it was about fart jokes, even if it was about the dumbest stuff and fighting the FCC. And he was a hero to a lot of people, and which is why his turn like a decade ago into this complete fucking rich sellout piece of shit asshole who defended every pandemic era policy possible. It was just like, what the fuck happened to you? You know, I guess you just got too old and got too rich and got too comfortable. And it's really sad what happened at the end, but he was a free speech and comic hero to a lot of people. Again, even if he was wildly inappropriate, that was his whole point. It was, if you want to do that and people will listen, you should be able to do that, you know, even on public airways. So yep, he had a good run, 35, 40 years in broadcasting overall. So, and a lot of people, a lot of famous people can't even say that. So
Yeah, and like I said, I mentioned this and a few times with Howard Stern, but like I said, he was that guy who was like the face of the, anti-censorship movement for many, many years in this country throughout the 80s and the 90s and even in the 2000s. Like, he was the guy who was advocating for, let's just say what we want and, screw the FCC and all this stuff. And then he finally got what he wanted, went to Sirius. Apparently his contract at Sirius was like $100 million a year. And it makes sense because, like I said, he was the first big name to go to Sirius that migrated a lot of people to that platform, and then they just kind of kept him around for time and time again. But apparently they were paying him $100 million a year to be on that platform, and no one was listening to his show anymore. Leslie was asking, do people still listen to Stern? A lot of longtime Howard Stern fans had stopped listening for several years because of the person that he turned into. He sold out of every single... what was the best way to describe it here? Every single, standard that he had regarding anti-censorship, he basically threw that all the way the second that he became, the king on the top of the mountain. And then that's why people turned on him. So, and any thoughts from either Cider or Eddie here about Howard?
Nope.
I liked Howard. I used to watch his show on E, late night.
Yep.
So, and Private Parts was a good movie. I was actually really surprised by how touching and personal that movie actually was. So, and I quote it every once in a while. So I'm sad that he became the angry old Yenta that he became, and so long, Howard.
Thanks, Howard. Way to go, buddy.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
Howard Stern's penis, Baba Booey.
I mean, like I said, it's just sad. Like, there's still old videos of like the roasts that he did with like Artie and like what was it, Baba Booey and Sal the Stockbroker and Colin Quinn and all these guys, and they're still funny. Like, they're still up there and they're still funny. It's just like sad that he basically sold out, and there's just no simple way of putting it. And it's like
one of my first bits was the entire Jackie the Joke Man bit, the racist Chinese restaurant or something like that. It was fantastic.
Like I said, once he started, being Dancing with the Stars, what was it, the Voice or whatever show that he was on and whatnot, and I was like, that it was all downhill from there, and it never recovered. I will play this here just real quick. I guess to talk about a time period where Howard Stern actually was funny. Let me see if I can play this. Oh yeah, here we go. I figure it goes with the theme of, tonight's episode because, we've just been going all in on it. So here you go.
Drag my lanky ass into this radio station to break balls with my niggas. Don't criticize my niggas, cause they's my niggas. They be your niggas. Baba Boo is my very own lazy big ass nigga. I love him. I love that homo Ralph who cleans my underwear. That is one good nigga. He is a cleaning nigga. Radio niggas, that's what we're talking about here, you skank.
If this isn't going the next intro, I'm going to be really disappointed.
This is a DMX cover, man. Yeah, it is.
He probably should see us shrink. Damn plugs on drugs. Gary's got a big wide droopy ass. Then he smiles and looks like a jackass. Or a beaver hiding out in the grass. Big slob, big blob. Scott Salem, he's so dull and he's bald. He's balder than a big basketball.
Like I said, it's amazing that he never got flack for that. It's pretty, like I said, in this whole day of cancel culture, let's dig up things from 30 years ago to cancel people for it. Never got shit for it. So, I mean, I guess there's right?
The blackface thing that he did, like the making fun of Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg. It's just like, this is just, it's a shame that, see, here's the thing, like, he already had made all his fucking money. Like, or he made a ton. I should say he made a ton of money, and he didn't have to like sell out. He didn't have, but he took the money and was like, I don't care. And that's really like the sad and the disappointing thing, where it's like, okay, at the end of the day, it's just like, all right, you're just another guy trying to make money, and that's. I think we forget that with show business, that at the end of the day, that's what it really is about. It's about making money for other people and making money for yourself.
It's not about principle.
Yep.
No, this is Artie
my
Lang.
God.
This is Artie Lang singing Notorious B.I.G.'s "Give Me the Loot." Like I said, well, to me, the real downfall of Howard Stern's show is when Artie Lang's life fell apart and then he left the show due to drug problems, stuff like that.
How he's, by the way, how he's still alive out of the cast of like Dirty Work, which has Chris Farley and Norm Macdonald in it.
Not even just the fact that he's still alive. Period.
Period.
For everything that it's like, dude's been fat his entire life. It was a severe heroin addict, and he's still here.
Oh, this is it. Is this it? Wait, this might be it.
Is this your song?
Yeah. Lock your windows, close big doors, big and small. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. My man Kim left a tech and a 9 at my crib. Turned himself in, he had to do a bid. I won a 3, he'd be home to end the 9 and 3. I'm ready to get these papers, G. You with me? Motherfucking right. My pocket's looking kinda tight. And I'm stressed. You think you let me get the vest? No need for that. Just grab the fucking gat. The first pocket that's fat. The second to his back.
Damn, he's good.
Just make boxing. Stick and move. Stick and move. Nigga, you ain't got to explain shit.
Now in the audition, you can't sing along. Let me hear you do that now without. See.
I've been robbing motherfuckers since the slave ship.
All right,
with the
you got
same
it.
clip and the same 4-5, 2 point blank, a motherfucker sure to die. That's my word. Nigga even tried to Bogart, have his mother singing it so hard. Yes, love. Love your fucking attitude.
All right, there you go.
I'm telling you.
Anything else,
That
Robin?
is a great song. Could you put that on? See, I used to love that.
Lil Wayne
Lil Wayne in my ass.
is the hip hop star.
Yes.
He's out of jail this morning after being arrested following a concert in Idaho on Friday night. He was arrested for missing a court date in Fulton County, Georgia.
I'm dangerous, crazy, and in a bag of fucking angel dust. When I bust my gap, motherfuckers take dirt naps.
Of possession of prescription drugs.
I'm all that in a dime sack.
Here's a little example of Lil Wayne, 2-3.
All right, little.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
You got to get into Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne is the fag. I want my dime bag.
Yep, that was classic Stern, and now it's all gone. So there you go. Now we can end the show with Sydney Sweeney being called the Nazi and a racist and a Trumper. Now, this is all escalated in the course of a week. So again, the whole setup earlier in the night was that Bill Burr thinks that the left doesn't go hard enough on the bad people. They don't go hard enough on the political opposition. I want to play you the actual ad itself one more time, the whole 30 seconds of this ad that has led to it being called Nazi propaganda, eugenics, was this like white race superiority complex, I think was the word that was used last week. And now she's been called a racist, a Nazi, and somehow they doxed her in the state of Florida as being a Republican on top of all of that. So all this because of this 30-second ad.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
You see what I did there, right?
So according to wacko leftists, they thought that was some kind of subliminal Nazi messaging to say like, no, she's saying that she has good genes because she's blonde hair and blue eyed and she has great boobs, and this is Nazi propaganda. They're trying to regain the Nazi youth, the Hitler youth, because Trump's in office and he's a Nazi, and literally this is how it all snowballed. This is how it all snowballed. American Eagle had to come out and defend this entire thing. And I think at first they were kind of rolling with it because it was like, okay, it's funny how these fat harpy women are going out here talking about this. And I think this was the simple message. Or I don't have the actual post. Do you have the actual post down here? Yeah, here it is. It says, Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the genes. Her genes, her story. We'll continue to celebrate anyone who wears their American Eagle jeans with confidence their way. Great genes look good on on everyone. So this was essentially a rebuke against, you know, the narrative that American Eagle hates black people now. For some reason, there was literally a woman who did a video about, oh, I can't go to American Eagle anymore because they don't like black people. It's like, how did we get here? How do we actually get to this point in topic here? And then it got somehow in the course of the last week, Sydney Sweeney, who I didn't even know lived in Florida, but she got doxxed as a Republican. Somebody found her voter registration in Florida that shows that she's a registered Republican. So now everyone's all like, oh, she's a Trumper. We always knew that she was a Trumper. We always knew she was the bad one. And now people are personally attacking her. She was at some, I think, premiere for like a movie that she's working on that won't come out for like another few months, but some person yelled at her, called her a racist. I'll just play a little bit of this.
Stop the ad! That is being racist! Stop the ad! That is being racist!
Again, we all saw the same 30-second ad. We all saw it, so I don't know where this whole thing came from. So, of course, when it got revealed that Sydney Sweeney is a Republican, they had to ask Trump about it. So here's what Trump had to say. This is how stupid this whole thing is going. Now the president is talking about a fucking Gene, a 30-second Gene ad because people are just consumed that everything is Nazis. And then this is what Trump said. This is from Variety. Donald Trump appeared delighted when he found out that Sydney Sweeney was a reported registered Republican amidst continued uproar over her American Gene commercials. This is talking to The Guardian, the star of Euphoria and The White Lotus and all that stuff. Listed her political affiliation as a Republican in Florida in June 2024, a few months before Trump's victory over Harris in the election. She's a registered Republican. It's like, oh, now I love her ad. Trump told reporters back in July, reporting the whole thing, says, isn't that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised how many people are Republicans. That's if I wouldn't know. I'm glad that you told me that if she's a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic, right? So everyone's jumping on this. JD Vance have defended her as well now. So now this has become a legitimate political issue, all because of a 30-second ad. So again, I would love to know the reality that some of these people are living in, that somehow the left are too easy on people who they view to be political enemies, because this is all escalate. The president of the United States had to basically respond to a Gene ad after people got offended and then doxed the actress's political affiliation in Florida, which I didn't even know she was living in Florida, but I guess good for her, quote unquote, if she is or not. But and then I want to show this here, because this I find absolutely hilarious. This just shows the absolute stupidity of the people who we're dealing with in this particular situation here. This is AI generated, so just so YouTube doesn't get butthurt about it. But yeah, this is very, very funny.
You know, I just prefer the white stuff.
Sydney Sweeney prefers white things.
I'm so lucky to be a part of the best race ever.
Sydney Sweeney thinks her race is better.
At times like these, 14 words come to mind.
Geico ensures your drive with reliable and affordable car coverage, tailored for every mile.
Sydney Sweeney believes in the 14 words.
What?
Don't mix whites with coloreds.
Sydney Sweeney thinks race mixing is wrong.
Drink your milk if you can.
Sydney Sweeney is a lactose supremacist.
Use sunscreen and shade. Protect your skin.
You can tell she's a white woman because she's whispering all the time.
Sydney Sweeney thinks brown skin is sun damage.
People really need to look after their genes more.
Got her.
Sydney Sweeney thinks genes need to be protected.
You know, I'm not sure what it is, but I just don't like the inner city anymore.
Sydney Sweeney hates urban ethnic diversity.
I'm here in Ireland celebrating Irish Heritage Day.
Sydney Sweeney thinks the Irish excludes people of color.
I just love living on a farm.
Sydney Sweeney wants to get away from society.
Traveling is overrated.
Sydney Sweeney hates my native homeland.
My favorite breed of dog is the German Shepherd.
Sydney Sweeney has preferences by breed.
Native American culture, like you can see behind me, is wonderful.
Sydney Sweeney thinks white people can be natives. Nothing could be further from the truth. Let's all work together to stop the rise of white shamelessness.
Okay, but how did they get John Hurt to narrate that? That literally sounds like John Hurt from V for Vendetta, or like he was an alien when the chest burster came through his chest. Sorry, AI, I know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just because that's literally like what's going on here. This is how this whole thing is being spun. This is just hilariously stupid that it's gotten to this point, and I think Leslie brought it up too. These people seem obsessed with Hitler and the Nazis, which again, another great shine of ignorance and irony here is that these are the same people who have like Free Palestine all over their social media bios right now. Free Palestine is literally a call to wipe out Israel and the Jews, which was exactly what Hitler and the Nazis were trying to do. There's no self-awareness anywhere here whatsoever.
Nope. To be fair, though, Sydney Sweeney did say she wanted to wipe out the Jews one time.
I did. I heard that once.
Yep.
I'm a witness.
I just don't. I don't understand any of this. I mean, I understand it. Like, okay,
I'm not retarded enough to understand the logic here.
Okay, listen. I can understand like the whole whatever like feminist perspective that like I don't like Sydney Sweeney because she appeals to the male gaze or whatever, and it's just like that meme of like, like that chick complaining about video games like adhering to the male fantasy, just like. But it's like it's like whatever. I mean, I can understand it from that very basic perspective. How you get from there to sort of like she's promoting eugenics or white supremacy or supremacist ideology. Yeah. I just don't like gotta get life. She's an attractive woman who people like to look at. She knows what she's doing. She made a kind of cheeky ad that basically was a copy from a Brooke Shields jeans, commercial back in the 80s. And so it's like, this is nothing. This is harmless. This is harmless. Like, and that's why I have this weird sneaking suspicion that this is like, I don't think it's fabricated because there's a lot of idiots who get upset about a lot of stupid shit. But it just seems like, okay, why have we been talking about this for 2 fucking weeks? You know what I mean? And I don't mean the show. I mean, like in general, this is all over social media right now. And it's and maybe that's why, because it's frivolous. There's no substance behind it. And it's people's insecurities coming out. It's like, whatever. Like, if you don't like Sydney Sweeney, don't buy the jeans. Don't watch her commercial. Don't watch her movies. You know what I mean? But it's like, it doesn't have anything to do with promoting any kind of ideology. At the end of the day, and this is the thing, and this really is on all sides of the culture war and the political aisle. You know what America's really about? It's about making money. Okay, that's cheeseburger. That's but again, making money. It's about selling people an idea, and it's just like that. That's it. Capitalism, right? It's just like
cheeseburger.
That's all they're doing. They're selling fucking jeans. Guess what? I've worn American Eagle jeans since I was a teenager. You know why? Because I actually like that. Okay.
He likes how his butt looks in them.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I get away with wearing skinny jeans without them being skinny jeans, and I like how they look. Whatever, make fun of them. But the point is, like, I've liked American Eagle for years, but it's like it's so bizarre that this reaction would come out. The fact that she's a Republican or she's a registered Republican. First of all, have you verified that it's the right Sydney Sweeney? Two, you know what I mean? It's like,
first of all, why are you even looking? Like, why did a 30-second Gene ad even compel you to dig into Sydney Sweeney's political affiliation?
Yeah, and so it's just like, I don't like. To me, it was a joke that people would try to connect anything with this commercial to like Nazism or white supremacy or any kind of like any kind of superiority in terms of white genes versus other genes, which, by the way, like, that's, I know that this is a ridiculous thing anyway, but like, white isn't specific to anything. if you want to say Aryan, okay, that has a very specific, like, that's a thing or whatever. But it's just like you're being too general with your fear mongering and paranoia. You got to be specific, you know, like the CIA is after me because I said this, you know, at this time, you know, and this is why. You got to have like a game plan together for your delusion to, you know, have legs. So just remember that next time, weirdos.
I don't know what more to add to this story. This is fucking ridiculous. it just is. Like I don't know how we got to this point. But and here's the thing here too. It's like, look, Sydney Sweeney. There's another side argument about this, and there are people like Melanie Mack are just being very, very stupid about this. It's like, guys, you shouldn't be out there lusting for Sydney Sweeney. And it's like, guys, first of all, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, and let's just be completely blunt about this whole situation. Sydney Sweeney has big boobs. She's not like, oh my God, she's the hottest woman that I've ever seen. Like, she just has a great rack. That's all that it is, right? She's not that great of an actress. Shocker. Her voice is kind of nasally and kind of off-putting if we're being completely honest with ourselves. And we've seen enough of her to know that that's kind of a thing too. So it's not that, oh my God, everyone's pretending like Sydney Sweeney is just the hottest thing ever. You guys have dumbed down and deleted beauty standards in this nation severely in the last 10, 15 years that all of a sudden a girl like Sydney Sweeney comes up and she literally becomes the new Hollywood it girl because she looks completely and utterly different than all the other gremlins that are running around this town at this point. Like I said, you saw Cynthia Erivo. You saw what she looks like. So when you're constantly seeing women like her shoved down your face 24/7, yeah, of course you're going to have a much bigger reaction to someone who looks like Sydney Sweeney because like, oh my God, an attractive woman. I almost forgot what you people actually look like.
You can call Cynthia Erivo the knob goblin.
Well, she's a lesbian, though. That doesn't quite work, though.
Yes!
You're close there, but yeah, no, the whole thing is just... like I said, this is the culture war, people. This is the cult. We're fighting the culture war over dumbass jean commercials. This is what it's leading to.
It is winning though because I went to an outlet mall this weekend and the American Eagle outlet completely packed. Everyone was buying jeans. A bunch of white girls were just buying all the jeans on the place. She also apparently did a "Hey Dude" commercial for like a
were they Sieg Heiling where they were buying those jeans?
If you know where the outlet malls are, it's filled with nothing but pure Aryan Brotherhood type of people. Yeah. It's amazing. I didn't know that. And to that, have the money. Yeah, to that point, I didn't know that in Mein Kampf that they were Hitler was talking about how the Aryan race had to have a tremendous rack.
Oh,
yeah.
Like,
I think that's Nazi 101 is big hunkin' milkers.
That would explain
fatherland.
So,
So another thing people have been doing here is that they're just finding basically any commercial with Sydney Sweeney that they can find to try to.
She also has a little bit of. She
likes ice cream. She's racist.
She has a little bit of tadpole face too, like you know.
I don't know. Honestly, she's just kind of like that one
Roger?
slept around a lot in high school. That's the face she has. Is like easy. I'm sorry.
Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah, it's fun to look at, not to
It
eat.
is.
Okay, fellas.
She really loves our rainbow sherbet. She comes here all the time.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be her future third husband.
Ever since we started lacing the ice cream with cocaine, Sydney just can't stay away.
We laced it with cocaine, and all of a sudden, white women just showed up out of nowhere.
That's so
Thanks,
cool.
Starbucks.
Yeah. It can be.
Although I will admit that the kind of girl that I imagine Sweeney to be does that kind of stuff all the time. Like she is a very influencer based kind of actress. So
yeah,
and
you know what? When you're actually attractive, you can basically promote and market a whole bunch of useless shit and actually sell products. It's almost like that's kind of how marketing used to work in this country.
That's Terry Hatcher's career after 30.
Yeah, 30. He said, which chapter is that? I haven't read that book. They say it'll gladly be a third husband. Shockingly, there was no Starbucks commercial. That would be way too on the nose. That would cause literal civil war between white women.
Oh my god! Can you imagine Sydney Sweeney being dumped on with a bunch of pumpkin spice?
Yeah.
That'll be fucking. That's gonna be Lenny Riefenstahl's greatest work is gonna be that commercial.
People, some women's gonna get stabbed. It's just like when the Popeye sandwich came out for the first time years ago, and people were actually shooting each other over it. It would be that.
Let me tell you something. That sandwich lived up to the hype, especially during the pandemic. That sandwich is so fucking good.
Oh, Cider, you didn't remember the great Popeyes crime wave?
We don't have Popeyes up here. We don't. I think that doesn't come any further than New Jersey. I've never heard of it.
If I remember the story correctly, and I might have to find it here too throughout the course of this show, someone cut the line of the new Popeye sandwich, and it literally ended in either a shooting or a stabbing. But someone was assaulted with a weapon.
But there was a series of them. That's what was so insane. It was like, okay, guys, you can just like relax.
And they were all in
sandwich.
And they were all in Alabama for some reason. Just a whole line all the way through.
You mean the state that has like the highest obesity rate?
Right.
Either that or Mississippi. I can't tell. Alabama and Mississippi goes back.
Solid sandwich by those though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me see here. No, here it is. This is Business Insider that reported on. This is from 2019.
Business Insider brought this.
Yeah, Popeye's chicken sandwich has been linked to deadly stabbing and reports of assault and physical violence. Here's the harrowing events alluded to the coveted menu item.
Coveted.
It's an investment.
Yeah, there was one deadly stabbing in Maryland where a person got linked to the return of the chicken sandwich.
Oh my god.
Jeez, man.
There's no reason for someone to lose their life on a Monday night in a parking lot.
No, they didn't say over a chicken sandwich. Apparently.
Go back up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it says there Popeye said, so you gotta say it as Popeye. There's no reason for women to lose their life in the Monday night in a parking lot.
Eddie, it's Popeye Doyle. It's the character from the French Connection. It's not Popeye the Sailor Man, okay?
Well, they used to have Popeye the Sailor Man as like a little comic book.
I thought so, because I remember growing up going to Popeyes, but I can't remember. I was a child.
Oh, you privileged people.
32 years ago. Yeah, we're surrounded by fast food over here in the Mid-Atlantic. We're just, I think it's bad here. The South is even worse. So
it's way worse.
I did see. We had the KFC Double Down, but nobody got murdered over it. It's a little,
This shit doesn't happen at churches.
Yeah, right, I don't even know what the fuck that is. So,
or Bojangles. Bojangles is
yeah, right.
That's because churches stinks.
Is this somebody's apartment?
Here's the thing with Bojangles. Bojangles is good if they actually buttered their biscuits before they gave you the sandwiches. They'll be way better than Hardee's.
I've been told that that's bad.
What? Yeah, it's a very racist term, Bojangles. I don't know why in the world they named a stadium after it.
I think it's hilarious. When I was like 7, I ate there for the first time. I was like, "Is this okay? All right, is it okay to say the name?"
You can eat your racism with pimento cheese.
The rice is good.
Dirty rice. Yeah.
Here, this is how Popeyes actually works.
Welcome to Popeyes. How can I help you, sir?
Can I get a 3-piece with fries and mashed potatoes and with gravy on the side?
Yes, sir. Spicy.
Yes, sir. Move here. What do you want? What do you want?
I just want a 3-piece with fries.
God damn, spicy them all.
Spicy.
Here, damn, go on.
Shit, this is not even my order.
It don't matter. Get out of here.
You got food?
We don't have no more sauce. Shit.
It's right there, though.
It's not for you. Get your bitch ass up out of here. I'm not playing. What are you doing? You need to come on. Man, this ain't no 5-star restaurant. This is Popeye. Pick it up with your hand. Man, what are you cut. Over here using tongues and shit. Get out of here, you cut. Here.
Welcome to Popeyes. Can you give me 1 sec? Damn, nigga, I said, give me 1 sec.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
You need to take your ass home.
Yeah, tell him. Tell him. For real.
Nigga, pull up to the window, man.
Hey, it is whatever. It's whatever.
Pull up to the window, man.
He said it's whatever.
Exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, but listen, every Popeyes I've ever been to, even the ones in the Pacific Northwest, which have a very small black population, it's always black people working there. I like without fail. Anywhere I've been and I've gone to Popeyes, it's like, okay, I'm just not going to question it.
Popeyes has a notorious reputation for poor customer service and getting your order right the first time. That's a well-earned reputation here. So I know this show had a lot of ups and downs. We got a little serious here. There was a lot of racism here for tonight's episode. I don't know how that happened. So the only way I can kind of cleanse the palate on tonight is I want to introduce you guys to someone who me and Cider know very well, an individual called Timmy No Breaks. Has anyone heard of the Timmy No Breaks story? So Timmy No Breaks is a comedian. Tim Stifler is his real name, who I guess before this, he went on Kill Tony about like a month or two before this. Basically did like kind of his normal act, didn't really get noticed, didn't really stand out. He showed up again with a brand new persona, Timmy No Breaks. This is absolutely brilliant. This is one of the most brilliant things I've seen in quite some time. When you watch the act, he intentionally bombs his 1 minute set on purpose. Also, the sole purpose that he can sell the character of Timmy No Breaks in the interview afterwards, and this is what you get.
Timmy No Breaks.
Yeah, like you said, my name's Timmy No Breaks, and you might wanna buckle the fuck up.
Wow.
Get this. I was at the nut store. I was buying nuts. I go up to the fucking weighted thing. The woman's like, that's gonna be $100. I was like, bitch, I got fucking bills to pay.
Yep.
You guys ever heard of a
right, have a
fucking
cigarette too.
punchline? What the
And then I said dice.
All right, don't worry. You're gonna love this one.
Oh.
I was at the doctor. Yeah, the fucking doctor. I go up to this doctor. He's like, Timmy No Breaks, you have cancer. You need treatment. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm a healthy guy. I'm a young boy. He's like, you need treatment. I'm like, how much is that going to cost? He's like, $100. I was like, bitch, that's a good deal. This is great A shit. This is good shit. What the fuck?
Timmy No Breaks, everybody.
So it's brilliant. He intentionally bombed his 1 minute set, and then just magic happened immediately afterwards.
Wow.
I hope so.
What the?
Timmy. Hi, Timmy. Did you just watch Dice once?
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard that.
What are you really like? How long you been doing stand-up?
Too long. 2 months.
2 months. All right.
That's my God.
That vacant stare.
Where are you from?
So good.
Jersey.
Yeah. Jersey. All right.
No kidding.
No kidding. Hey!
Breaks. Timmy No Breaks.
Oh, wow. Okay, Timmy. He's having the time of his life.
Yeah, this is good.
What was his hair real quick?
So, Timmy,
All right.
you've been doing stand-up for 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
How old are you, Timmy?
That's rude. That's fucking. How old are you?
How old are you, Timmy?
I'm 24.
Really?
God, that's fucking. How old are you?
How old are you, Timmy?
24 years old.
Really?
Yes. This is fucking. Guys, come on. I'm a guest here. What the fuck?
Oh. Pasta mañana, you.
I'm 36.
There it is.
There we go.
36.
Timmy, what have you been doing your whole life up until this point?
I worked for my father for a long time. He was a fishing man. And so I worked for him and then, got caught up in some shit.
Like what?
I did some time. It was coke. I was a coke guy.
No, no kidding.
I did some coke shit and then, got out. And I found stand-up, and I, never looked back. It's not,
how long?
It's not funny. This is my life, guys.
How long were you in jail for?
I was 2 months.
2 months. Everything's 2 months with you.
No, not everything is 2 months. It's also $100.
$100 in 2 months.
2 months and $100.
Holy shit. It's a fucking black Kool-Aid man. Boom, roasted. Got your ass, bitch.
Wow, Timmy, no breaks.
Well, for what it is, David Lucas stinks.
Timmy,
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
No breaks. Again, just fully committed to this character. Timmy, what do you do for fun in real life now? Are you still on coke?
Yes.
It's so good. What's up?
Yes.
What's up?
Yes, you are. Do you live in Austin now?
Yeah, I moved here.
How long have you lived here? 2 months. Timmy, no breaks.
It's that vacant stare. I love it. There's nothing going on in there.
No breaks. Getting the lights to change in the room. Timmy, how do you make money?
It's like if Super Mario was a taxi driver.
You sell coke.
No, I sell weed now. I'm straight. I'm straight. What? Fucking Dr. Evil. Goddamn. Boom, roasted. Look at this bitch. What are you drinking? Fucking gay shit? Goddamn.
Boom. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Oh.
I'll take that golden ticket, bitch.
Oh my God.
I'll take that golden ticket, bitch.
Timmy, you're not even getting a big joke book, Timmy.
That's fine. I don't write.
We know, Timmy. We saw your act. Don't you know what a punchline is? One of your famous lines. Timmy, tell us something about you other than the fact that you did cocaine. Just give us one more little tidbit about you.
God, I mean, I love my mother.
Yeah.
I love that bitch. It's not that interesting, but it's true. Yeah, sorry.
The only one in my life.
She's not.
Has she needs?
Well, she passed away. She passed away 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It was it was hard.
I guess he actually found himself into comedy.
Did you bury her, or did she get boom roasted?
She got roasted. She owed me $100.
She was in a kiln or whatever. You know what I mean? And
kiln?
She died. Embarrassment.
Is that a snuff film?
That's my fucking mother you're talking about, gay guy. This guy's gay.
Timmy, you're a funny guy, dude. You're a funny guy, Timmy. I like your style. Normally, I hate anything that sounds at all like Andrew Dice Clay, who was literally doing your act 45 years ago, but I look at you.
Never heard of him. Never heard of bitch. Hickory dickory, suck my cock.
All right, Timmy. If I had to give your interview and set a grade on a report card, I would give it a A.
Oh!
There he goes, Timmy No Breaks. Wow, he immediately gives it to a fan. Gives it right to an audience member. Unbelievable. A man of the people. A man of the people.
That was just absolutely brilliant. When you look at how that whole thing was structured, it was like he literally just found the way to hack their entire format and then hijack the entire show.
I liked it. I want to do that now. I'm going to go and kill Tony. I want to try to hijack their show.
All go for it. It'd probably be the best thing. You have to make your way to Austin, Texas, though, so I don't know how far it is.
Oh, sweet Christ. I got to go to Austin? That's terrible. I hate Austin.
But that's it for tonight's show. I think we'll end it here. I'll go ahead and give you guys time to promote stuff that you got coming on. Eddie, what you got coming up?
Hi, everyone. So I decided to try to do a wrestling podcast, or I don't know if it's a podcast, but we talked about SummerSlam with a friend of mine. It's over on my X, and I'm thinking about actually starting the podcast again, but I don't know. It's a strange thing. I hope the wrestling doesn't get bad. So, anyway, that's all. Hope you all have a good week.
All right, then. A good buddy, Rob. How's it
Hey,
going?
guys. Pretty good. I don't really got anything this week. I'll try to put together some topics for a podcast on Friday. But yeah, just watching movies. It's August, football month, because the NFL's kicking off in early September. So really looking forward to my last football-free month to kind of get in as many movies as I can before I'm kind of juggling the two. So just follow me over my Twitter. Yeah, I'm not on premium anymore because it's a waste of money. So I'll see you over there. See you next week.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a waste of money. Definitely didn't help that once we bought it, they raised all the standards of actually getting paid on there just so we couldn't attain it. So that was great.
I will say, I never saw any of your tweets, Rob, until you lost your check mark. Then I actually started seeing some of your tweets.
You don't follow me, Eddie, so it's fine. But thank you.
Cider. A sun-dodging cider.
Hey, yo, if you like the content that you have been enjoying, you can find more at Bounding. Thank you. Boom!
Boom, roasted.
That's all I got. That's it. It's over now.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Hey!
Watch The Sopranos now. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Gabagool!
I got to play that song more often. I missed that.
What am I doing now? I don't know. I need to figure out my life. That's probably the first step.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Wow. It was
The
existential.
Racism and Existential Crisis podcast.
This Bible Lens next week is going to be amazing.
Yeah, no, I just need to figure out my schedule moving forward. I got to talk to a few people and kind of arrange some things. So, yeah, I'll take the next couple of days off to kind of figure some things out. I still owe Cider Slam Ball. We will finish out Slam Ball because I told him we finish it out, and it's kind of a good thing because the elephant in the room with Slam Ball is that once we get past this second season, there are no more episodes that we can play on YouTube because that was it. It didn't last very long. But yeah, so I do owe him an episode of Slam Ball, and I do owe him an episode of the Big Help-a-thon too. So we'll figure out where we're gonna host that one at. It's supposed to be our next Untitled Nostalgia show, so we need to figure out how we're gonna do that here too. So I still owe Cider a couple of podcasts. I plan on fulfilling those out. I just need to figure out when we're gonna do it. So it shouldn't take too long. I just need a couple of days. Outside of that, I will be working on the Bible Lens this week. We're going to talk about people who call good evil and evil good. Check out last week's episode. I do have a few reviews that I'll probably still just get posted anyway, just to kind of get rid of them because I'm backlogged on stuff. In case you guys haven't realized, I haven't posted anything on my site in like almost 3-ish months because that's literally how pressed for time that I've been. Like I said, everything in my life requires so much time commitment. It's just hard to actually get around the time of getting this stuff done, taken care of. So it doesn't help when you get backlogged week after week after week. So hopefully I can take a couple of days, kind of catch up, figure things out. Then I'll let you know full time what we're going to be doing. But we will be back here. This show isn't ending. Bible Lens isn't ending. These people not going anywhere. So, and then you people not going anywhere. Thank you guys.
He's holding us hostage.
Yeah, right. As long as I possibly can. But until then, thank you very much for joining us. This is where we're time to go. You can leave now. Adios, good night, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Real quick, before we actually get out of here, I just want to say one more thing. If there's anyone in the state of either Arizona or California who can deport Rick before he comes back to Texas, I will give you $500. That's all I'm willing to commit. Just $500. I'm not giving you a cent more. So, good night.
Okay.
Okay, $505. That's as most of them going to go. I'm not going a cent higher than that. Just $505 for anyone who deports Rick somewhere in between Arizona and California. If you deport him in New Mexico, it does not count. So, but there you go. Good night.
Okay.
Making your way through the daily grind takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to tune away? All those nights when you're feeling low, the rent is overdue, and your coffee maker's broken, your luck just seems to skew, and your boss is always on your case. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed and you feel the dread. The morning's looking bleak. The morning's and your internet is down again. You haven't slept all week, and your car just broke down on the way. Be glad there's a place online where you can feel at ease. In the barroom podcast friends, we share our thoughts and tease. Every story shared, every laugh so free. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. So here's to the moments we all hold dear. In this barroom of the airwaves with friends so near. Every story shared, every heartfelt cheer. It's more than just a podcast, it's where we steer.
I still don't feel like I know how to shoot these things.